is the Fat.
Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Kerey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. 2:03, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie will be back with us on Monday. He's enjoying the lake despite being suspended.
Yeah, go to the lake when you're suspended.
I know.
Shameful. Be at home doing nothing.
So we didn't have an opportunity to dive into an absolutely wild victory for the Cardinals yesterday. Quick shout out to the Rizzuto Show. We'll go back to hating them in a couple of minutes here, but Marsh was here yesterday with the Rizzuto Show, who paid off their loss in the NFL Pick'em Challenge last year.
About time. You know what I mean?
Nice job, though. Nice job, guys.
They did a fantastic job.
I listened the first 3 hours. I was out driving around doing some errands with the kids, and then I mowed the lawn, and I had my headphones on, and I was listening. I realized that that's a tough gig for them to come in.
It's a lot of hours.
It's not only a lot of hours. You're having to cover some things you don't normally cover.
Yeah.
And they did a great job.
They did.
They're entertainers. They did great. And Marsh, I thought you steered the ship well.
Thank you.
I know Riz and Rafe and Moon and Learn, who was here for I think the first 2 hours, King Scott, they kept kind of throwing it back to you a couple of times. So you kept them on track. Nice job. But I thought they did a great job. So thank you to those guys for paying off the debt, and gal, for giving us a day off yesterday. And we've got another NFL Pick'em Challenge coming up.
And we'll have them do our show again.
Exactly.
They're going to lose again.
You're damn right there.
Yeah, man.
Riz this morning said that it was the highest rated Fast Lane show. The ratings were in, and it was the highest rated Fast Lane show ever. I don't know how he got the numbers that quickly. That's kind of surprising. Typically, those things don't come out that quickly.
Well, they would get the numbers before we would.
Probably.
That's true.
They know these things.
That's true. So, again, we didn't get an opportunity, so thank you to those guys. They did a great job. They're entertainers. They entertained. I realize that some people may not have been thrilled that they were on the air yesterday, especially after the Cardinals game. But, hey, I'm sure the Fast Lane listeners, by and large, treated the Riz Show right. Or mocked them in a fun way. Either way, we appreciate you guys. All right, so let's dive into it. Cardinals scored 6 runs in the 9th inning yesterday in Cincinnati to turn what looked like a 9-4 loss into a 10-9 win, because that got real shaky in the bottom of the 9th. The turning point came with 2 outs and the Cardinals down to their final out. J.J. Weatherholt strode to the plate, hit what looked like a routine fly ball to left center. Instead, chaos ensued. Red center fielder Dane Myers, who had a pretty good series.
He's the reason why the Cardinals lost game 2.
He had a very good series overall. Even when he got out, he saw like 20 pitches at times. He ranged over from his center field spot. He's a really good outfielder, too, by the way, defensive outfielder. He ranged over and appeared to call off left fielder T.J. Friedel. Ball goes off of Myers' glove. And then even when you erupted, because obviously you're rooting for the Cardinals, even when you erupt and you're like, yes! When you're watching the replay and the ball goes off and he immediately puts his hands on his head before he goes chases it, as a human being, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I did. I said, he dropped it. You don't expect to see that. Like, you expect NFL receivers to catch open passes. You expect MLB outfielders to catch what would essentially be a routine, fly ball.
Yeah.
It was, I'm sure the sun played a huge part into that. You could tell both of them were kind of having conversations as they're heading to, I got it, okay, you got it.
It looked like Friedel had his glove on. It almost looked like Friedel couldn't necessarily see it because of the sun. I think he was battling the sun. I think it was a bigger issue for Myers.
Having it ranged that far?
Not only that, but where does J.J. Weatherholt bat?
Left-handed.
He's a left-handed bat.
So it's tailing away from him.
So the ball is tailing away from Myers in that situation. If he's a right-hander, it's tailing away from the right-hander. It's going to the foul line if you're playing in right field. So if you're Dane Myers, that ball's hit. It looks like a routine fly. You range over. He thinks he's under it, and that ball just kept tailing. to left field.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really happened. And at that point, he already called it. You call it, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
And as
you're
the center fielder,
it's your ball.
TJ Friedel did what he had to do.
Yeah.
Once the center fielder calls it, you back off. And unfortunately for the Reds and for Dane Myers, the ball caroomed off his glove. And good for the Cardinals, as we later found out in the bottom of the ninth, they kept adding.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
So they didn't just take the lead. They added to it, which was really good. So that one mistake opened the floodgates. Cardinals score 6 runs in the inning and suddenly had a 5-run lead.
How bad would that have been if they would have blown the game in the 9th inning?
This is a really resilient club, but I don't know how you get over that one.
Soriano walked 3 batters.
I think he's tired, man. Guys get gassed. He's pitching a lot. Like they essentially have. I mean, you've almost. It feels like you see Ryan Stanek every night. You see Soriano every night. You see Riley O'Brien when there's an opportunity to close the game. Swanson he's on the IL. He's been injured. He's been out for a while. Like you got guys that are, and obviously JoJo Romero is no longer here. The circle of trust has shrunken. You got really 3 guys. Strzelecki is I guess, on the border of that circle of trust, but it's almost out of necessity.
Right.
Because who the hell else you're gonna throw? Like you're running those guys. I don't want to say you're running them into the ground. They're doing the best that they can with what they have. And if your pitchers are only going to be able to give you 5 innings, 5 and a third, if they can't give you 6 or 7 innings, I mean, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning is going to be 3 or 4 guys every single time. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially what it has been. You're going to, and you have to hope that they are well rested and not too gassed and can give you the best effort that they got. But you're going to run into that when you have to have those guys pitching as much as they have been pitching.
What was your thoughts on McGreevy being taken out? Stanek comes in, gives up the grand slam. There were a lot of people having a ton of discourse yesterday surrounding that particular inning for the Cardinals and Ollie Marmol's decision.
This is going to piss people off. I didn't first guess it, so I'm not going to second guess it. The bases were loaded. I thought at that point he started to struggle, and I understood why he went to the bullpen. There's an argument to be made, and I thought CD, and let me piggyback off what CD said. So the Cardinals won 10-9. The bullpen is tired. And I get it. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, poor babies. They've played a lot of games in a small stretch of time. They're not always bad. I realize some nights they're bad. They're not always bad. I think they're flat out tired. I think they're gassed. And if you're Chaim Bloom, you got to look at this and think, what do I have in the minors right now that can give some of these pitchers some rest? And I don't know what the answer is to that. The pen is tired. So you could argue, why not stick with McGreevy in that situation instead of going to a tired pen? I get that argument, but again, I didn't first guess it, so I'm not going to sit here and second guess it.
I would argue back and say Ryan Stanek, in his last 6, 7 appearances, only gave up 1 hit. Mm-hmm. Or only gave up 1 run. Excuse me. Like he has been really good in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his last appearances.
Yeah.
1 run allowed, couple of hits here and there, a couple of innings where he didn't give up any hits. We saw the inning where he came in with the bases loaded a couple of nights ago where he got out of that jam. Mm-hmm. He's been really good. So as a coach, as a manager, I go with the information that I have. This guy has been really. I don't know that he's going to give up a home run. I don't know that he might be more fatigued than he was a few nights ago. Like, you go with the information that you have. You see where it is. You got bases loaded. Ryan Stanek, let's see if we can get out of this jam. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you just were not able to get out of that jam in that specific time.
Yeah. Speaking of information, Bernie Miklasz does great work, and he posted yesterday on X talking about the third time through an order for all of the starting pitchers for the Cardinals. None of them have an ERA for the third time through the order under 4. The lowest of all of them is 4.55. That's Andre Palante. The third time through for all of them, 6.60 ERA.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Ollie Marmol takes that into consideration, that they are getting hit when the third time through, no matter who the opponent is. Mm-hmm. So that's information.
Yeah, it is. It's information. It doesn't mean it's the end all be all, by the way. I do think that Ollie Marmol and all managers will take the information that's given to them and then apply it to the situation. So in this case, maybe you looked at it and say, McGreevy's running into some issues here. I got a guy in Stanek, to CD's point, that at least recently has been pretty solid. Why don't I go to my pen right now and see if I can manage this thing? And it blew up in his face, unfortunately.
Now, you did have one out. One could argue you need a double play in that situation. Maybe McGreevy gives you a better chance of getting that ball on the ground than Ryan Stanek does.
Sure. Again, it's a decision. Mm-hmm. I know some people are going to turn it into Ollie Marmol fast laned up.
Yeah,
but he made a decision and it didn't work out.
If Ryan Stanek gets out of the inning, they're saying, "Oh, that was the best decision you could have made."
Right.
Like, it's a decision. You don't know. You never know how. It's so easy, and it's actually very lazy to hindsight 2020 say, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that." No bleep, Sherlock.
Right.
You think? The hell you talking about? You think he threw him out there and said, "Hey, give him the long ball, Ryan. I want to see him go deep." That's what I expect from you today. Hell no. That's lazy as hell, man. He did not expect that to happen. As I said, the information that was given to him based on what was shown over the last 6 outings by Ryan Stanek, you're like, okay, here we go. This is the best guy for this opportunity. Let's go get it done. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough about that particular situation, you guys know I love perusing X. I love looking at what Cardinal fans are saying.
You love to see the reaction.
And we did not talk about it yesterday because the Riz show was in, but the night before when Matthew Liberatore was pitching and he was actually dealing, he was pitching really well and then gave up the home run to Sal Stewart. I don't know why he threw that fastball there. I understand he was trying to throw it high and then hit him low with a curveball. Totally get that. And his location was just right down the pipe. But there were fans who were saying, you got to take him out. You got to get him out of there.
Easy,
so which one is it?
It's easy.
Are we going to keep certain guys in, but we're going to take other guys out? And I understand that could be a situation where you have a little bit more faith in McGreevy than you do Matthew Liberatore, because Matthew Liberatore has shown all season long that there is one inning most times that there will be a blow up, and he had not had it yet until that moment. So hindsight's 2020. You could have said, "Get him out of there, Ollie. What are you doing?"
Right.
Which is what a lot of people did. Or you can see what happens, and he missed his location, which is unfortunate. The Cardinals lost.
It's also baseball.
Man, I also would love to see these people's decision making all day long, every day. Give me 4 hours of your decisions on TV, and let me see if your ass makes every right decision. You should have got over 10 minutes. Your wife is yelling at you every damn time you're in the car. Don't park there. Don't drive there. Turn here. And your ass is not making the right decisions every damn day. But you gonna complain about Oliver Marmol about a decision that he made. Like, come on, man. I'm sick of it. I get tired of the bull crap. You know what I mean? It's Friday. The Cardinals won. It wasn't pretty, but damn it, it's a win. They don't ask how, Anthony, they ask.
How many?
There you go. And they got one yesterday. So quit your complaining, man. Get over it.
And speaking of wins, I think the Cards have tied the amount of wins that people thought they would have heading into the season, which was, 66?
Yep.
So call that
suck
a win.
on that.
Yeah.
66 and 63 right now. Wild card standings. Give you an update on that. Cubs right now have the first wild card not locked up, but right now they're in the top spot at 74 and 54. Philadelphia has the second spot at 70 and 58, and the Padres at 68 and 60 currently own the third wild card. The Cardinals are 2.5 back of the Padres for that last wild card spot. Arizona is only 1 game back of San Diego for the wild card spot. It's a Fastlane on 101 ESPN. You can always get a hold of us via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 or via the Airlines team studio cams and YouTube channel, our Snake Pit. Always leave us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop, too, if you'd like to, via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. CD asked a question earlier today in our pre-show meeting. What's going on with college football? He has a specific take on that and how college football players, 16 of the 32 college football players, 8 of them have already entered the transfer portal. So what's going on with that? That's next on 101 ESPN. So, Kerry, I know that you're following this situation very closely in college football, and you were looking at a report by ESPN about how certain collegiate players, or even some that are on NFL rosters, are finding ways, loopholes even, to get back to eligibility in college football. So, please explain for those that have not been following.
It's absolutely absurd. There are judges that are allowing to that are giving restraining orders basically against the NCAA to allow college players, former collegiate players, back for another opportunity to play college football. So there was a group of the most recent case filed by 32 total athletes who played a variety of sports, including 3 players who are currently on NFL rosters but wish to return to college.
Dude.
Currently on NFL rosters but wish. These are players that are maybe undrafted, know that the cut deadline is coming up, and potentially see the writing on the wall, know that they probably won't make the team for that NFL club, and are looking for a reason or a solution for them to go back to college and play another year of football. Of those 16 players that I talked about, 32 of the 16 are football players. 8 of those guys already are in the transfer portal. So you also have that part of it as well. So now, not only are they potentially messing up the school that they were trying to go back to, they are putting themselves in the portal to try to be able to go to another school. And I don't know, Anthony, college football starts in what, 2 weeks?
No. 1 week.
Oh, yeah, next week?
1 week from tomorrow.
What are we doing, man? Like, it's
gone off the rails.
To me, and we talked about this last week when Bradford was in. We had the Mizzou player who was allowed that opportunity to come back. And I said at that time, this is Pandora's box. You're going to open up the box for, if he was on an NFL roster or in an NFL camp, which he was, whether it was mini camp, OTAs, he was able to go back to Mizzou. Okay, cool. Now you have players who are literally on an active roster right now waiting to be cut for an opportunity to go back to college football. Bishop Sankey, the commissioner for the SEC, says permitting former professional athletes, which they are, to return to competition creates a competitive disadvantage and fundamental unfairness for current student athletes who have not pursued a professional sports career but instead have maintained their commitment to the collegiate athletics model. This is absolutely absurd to me. For a guy to be in an NFL camp, to go through, and that is, Anthony, that is from April until August. That's a good time frame for you to be away from your college, because guess what? You're no longer on the roster. You graduated. You aged out. Your playing time is done. You can go to, I don't know, the Indianapolis Colts from April to the end of August, get cut, and then go back to, I don't know, University of Illinois, Carey Davis. Sure can. Do it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, man. And to Greg Sankey's point, it is unfair. It's unfair for the college kids. It's unfair for high school kids. The recruiting in high school is so vastly different now than it was 15, 20 years ago. High school kids don't really get recruited in the same manner because coaches spend most of their time in the transfer portal looking to add to their roster that way instead of getting a kid from high school and developing him. I get a kid that's already developed and we can go play.
Right.
So it's so many things that are going on with college football now. This is maddening to me. I think it's unfair, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm curious how this will ultimately impact development. You just mentioned the high school kids. Instead of developing high school kids, you can just pluck someone who's already been developed. But when we look 10 years down the road, will kids ultimately stop having the same skill set as maybe they did 5 years ago? Do you see that happening, or do you think that's not really a huge factor?
Yeah, well, Marsh, I think what you're ultimately asking here is the right question. What's the trickle-down effect from this? If coaches, and look, Indiana just won a national championship in part because Kurt Tonetti went out and found guys that he knew that could play in his system, that transferred from James Madison, but he also targeted what? Experienced players. Yeah. So what is the trickle-down effect in a couple of years? I'm really just asking. I'm posing the question because
it's already here. Like for me, the trickle down effect is.
So what do you do if you are a high school player now?
You gotta go
to a lesser school.
You go to D2, and then you get in the transfer portal after you. Like it sounds crazy, but it's almost, unless you are a 4-star, unless you're one of the guys, right? 30, 40 offer guys.
Sure, dude.
It's like you're a 1-2 offer guy and you're waiting around. It could happen, but it's more likely that you're going to get overlooked because those guys are looking in the transfer portal. You're the same size, same speed, but guess what? He's two or 3 years older than you, and he's already been in a college program, and he already is more advanced than you are, just based off of genetics, physics. Like he's bigger, stronger, faster than you are right now. And in 2 to 3 years, you'll be at that level, but you're not there now. So I, as a coach, am going to go with the guy that is more developed and ready to play because I can't wait. I got to get my job. I got to keep my job, and I got to win games.
Maybe it's not a bad thing.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Maybe this isn't a bad thing.
It's not if you are understanding of the landscape of high school and college football.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from a firsthand perspective,
they do not.
They are not.
Yeah.
They are not understanding of that because there's the notion that, I didn't go D1. I'm not good enough. Or why don't they want me? Whereas you can take your talents and play at a lower level. You can play at FCS. You can play at Division II and work your way up. It's really good football. Like a lot of people think, it's D2 football. You go down there and get your head knocked off.
Sure.
Like it's not just little kids playing football. It is real football and played in a real way. So I don't think it's a terrible thing, but to get young players and their parents on board with the notion that 10 years ago he would have been a recruit at Mizzou, and this year he's going to be at Northwest Missouri State.
Right.
Like that's a hard thing. That's a hard pill to swallow.
It could be good, though, when you see examples. You just brought up, Mizzou. I think of Cody Schrader and where he went and his entire collegiate career. He worked his way up. That's a good story. Ultimately, you want those types of players, though. You want those types of players who want to work for their success. They don't want it handed to them. That's what makes a good program.
Well, I also think this is kind of there's a little bit of mimicking of real life, right? There's some parallels to be drawn here. Marsh, I won't speak to your journey, but I know I didn't just go from Central Michigan University where, hey, I've got a bachelor's degree in, Bachelor of Science degree. I majored in journalism and I minored in broadcasting and cinematic arts. Ready for my job. Here we go. I kept my rejection letters.
Yeah.
And I had a slew of them. And looking back, I absolutely was not ready to just go right onto the mic at all. So what did I do? I worked so that I can pay for rent and food and all that stuff. And then I kept applying to radio stations and TV stations. Yeah. And eventually I caught a break 2 years, year and a half after graduating where I could make minimum wage and pass out free T-shirts in the middle of the night. That was it. And then I just worked. I kept working my way up. That kind of sounds similar to this now.
It is.
You really want to play football?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
How much do you love it?
How much do you love it?
Yeah.
We all make fun of like the MAC and things like that. How much you love playing football? Because there's some there's some really good opportunities. In fact, there's better opportunities to play football in this nation than there are for certain jobs.
Yes.
So go play football and show what you can do, and don't complain, and don't bitch, and don't think that you're not given the right opportunities. Work your ass off.
I would tell my players, if you think you're that good, if you think you should be starting at Alabama, then you should go dominate this school here.
No kidding.
Like you should be the best player.
Because they'll find you.
If you are that good, then you should dominate that. It shouldn't even be a question. And again, that's a hard thing to sell, but the ones that are capable or are willing to do that do have success. Jared Verse is one of those guys. He started at Albany University before he went to Florida State and became a first-round draft pick. Like he had to start at the FCS level, work his way up, transfer to Florida State, and became a first-round draft pick. Those things happen. You talked about Cody Schrader. Those things do happen. I do think that that's the way that it's going, that it's trending. But in terms of like the kids that are already in college, to have to have a kid or a man come back after being on an NFL roster, that to me is way too far.
Dude, once you get a paycheck, I don't care how big the paycheck is.
If it says
once you get
New
a
York
paycheck
Jets,
from the New York Jets,
Philadelphia Eagles,
you're done.
Yeah.
You're a pro now. And if you don't like, if you got caught, try to make a practice squad. If you can't make a practice squad, well, try your best to get to the CFL and, or play in the UFL.
If I'm in the front office of one of these teams and I see that this young man is already positioning himself because he knows he's about to get cut, I don't want that kid.
Right.
And guess what? Even if he plays well next year, I still don't want him. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't want to draft him. I wouldn't want to spend draft because you're showing me that you're ready to give up before we even get going.
Correct.
It's a lot for me. I wish everyone the best. I think they need to figure out how to fix this situation though.
To your point about going to a lesser name school, completely different sport, but we always talk about the Miz, right? He went to Crowder College,
right,
and was going to transfer, I believe, to Oklahoma State at first, then switched to LSU, but the Brewers found him, drafted him in the second round, and now he is what he is today, going to win a Cy Young in the National League. He's that good, and he went to Crowder College.
Sure.
Talent. If you have talent, people will find you.
100%. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter. The Blues front office. How do fans feel about the Blues front office? Well, a poll was done by The Athletic, and we'll dive into that next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take down the Reds yesterday in a wild one, 10-9 the final. They'll go up against the Philadelphia Phillies tonight at Citizens Bank Park with Hunter Dobbins on the mound. He'll face off against Jesus Luzardo. First pitch is at 5:40. The lineup is out, so we will play the lineup game next. We'll take a pause on those front office rankings in the NHL, and we'll play the lineup game right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
As March just told you, time to play the lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. And boy, what a pivotal series this is going to be for the Cardinals and the Phillies. Both teams vying for a playoff spot. And Cardinals just took 2 of 3 against Philadelphia and St. Louis. So let's hope they can keep this winning streak alive when it comes to series victories. All right, boys, we ready?
Ready?
I guess I should say, are you ready, Kerry? Because Marsh can't play.
That's right.
I mean, I could. It would just be a perfect lineup.
Yeah, right.
He knows the answers.
Jesus Luzardo, left-hander.
All right.
For the
LHP.
Mm-hmm.
Who's pitching for the Cards?
That would be Hunter Dobbins.
Hey, let's go, Hunt.
All right. You want to go?
Yeah, show us JJ Weatherholt.
What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Yvonne?
Oh, yeah.
Marsh, show us Yvonne Herrera.
What's your favorite position?
Designated hitter.
That's cool with me. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you.
You said left-handed, right?
Yes, sir.
Left-hander? Mm-hmm. Show us Jordan Walker.
That one touched the ground. That one touched the ground.
What's going on there? I'm just fixing something that's been bugging me.
Wait a minute. What have we here?
Burley?
Sure.
Show us Alec Burleson.
What a shame.
Oh, my. What, you got a day off, man?
He must have the day off.
Where you going here? Baez? Church? Furminator?
Baez would make the most sense from a power standpoint. At least you saw it once.
Let's do
You
it.
want to do that? Show us Joshua Baez.
History is made.
I hit my first home run.
Greatest game ever played.
That's how you do it, Mom.
It's Jason Bourne.
Okay.
Nathan Church? Like Church
Against a
here?
lefty? No.
Who else you going to put there?
I don't know. Furminator?
You going to go 4? You going to go 5 righties in a row? Because then it'll probably be Mason Wynn. Anthony, come on, man.
All right, go for it.
Come on, man.
Go for it. You have to shame me.
I don't know if it's him.
Of course you don't.
All right, I haven't looked at the lineup, so of course I don't. You don't think it's Nathan Church?
Not against
Marcy,
a
what
lefty.
do you think? Oh,
I can't tell.
He has to abstain.
Can't tell you. There's so much
if I
I
can-
want to tell you right now, but I just can't.
let's go with the Furminator.
Okay.
That's a lot of righties. But you don't think Burley is playing?
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure about anything.
Because Burley could be here. Now, why would you move him down? I don't know, man.
CD, trust your gut.
All right, show us Nathan Church.
No, no, no.
I'll trust my gut.
Okay.
Show us the Furminator.
No way in hell.
Show us Alec Burleson.
What the hell?
Mason Wynn? No, not 5. What did we say?
We've said Fermin,
Burley. Crooks. I mean, not Crooks. Church.
I mean, I don't know. It could be anybody.
Torres.
It could be Torres. It could be Blaze Jordan. It could be
I don't think
Crooks.
it's Blaze here. I don't think it's Crooks here.
Okay.
I think it's a lefty. You want to go Torres? You want to go Brian?
Not really, but go ahead.
Show us Brian Torres.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Show us Blaze Jordan.
Oh, my.
It was Johnny Hopkins and Sloan Kettering, and they were blazing that up every day.
Just process elimination at that point. Wow.
So is this Mason Wynn?
I mean, I don't know.
You do it. I've had enough.
Show us Mason Wynn.
That's ridiculous.
Nathan Church.
Sure.
Show us Nathan Church.
What the H is wrong with you guys?
Mahomes long body said, "Good luck to you guys."
Okay, this is a mess. Can I go with the Furminator?
Go ahead, man.
Show us the Furminator.
Hello, local utility.
All right, this is Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn.
Show us Mason Wynn.
Running out of sounders.
So is Mason Wynn not in this lineup then?
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Who did you say? You said Wynn?
I said Wynn. Maybe this is
Church?
Sure. Hell, I don't know.
Show us Nathan Church. I mean, you Torres, Crooks, or Pajes. Take your shot. Or I guess Everson Pereira. Torres,
Crooks, or Pajes?
Or Pereira. Those are the only ones we haven't run through because I don't think it's Burley. So Pereira.
Show us Jimmy Crooks.
Torres or Pereira? I don't think it's Pajes.
Go Torres.
Show us Brian Torres. Show us Everson Pereira.
He has something to prove.
This is the worst lineup game we've ever played. It's not even close.
I don't even know who's playing where.
So he's got to play. He's got to be playing center field.
Okay.
So
Fermin is at second base. JJ is at shortstop.
Oh yeah. Good call. Well, assuming Wynn's not in the lineup, yeah, you're right.
I don't think he is.
Okay, so what do we need now? DH?
A DH, a catcher.
One, two. Is Herrera? Do you think Herrera's catcher or is he the DH? I'm saying he's the DH.
Where are we at? We got 7 guys. Oh my gosh.
So we need a catcher
and a first baseman. Maybe Herrera's playing first base.
No.
Who do you have in here playing first base?
What about Blaze Jordan? Blaze Jordan playing first, and then Fermin at third.
Then you need a second baseman.
Torres. This is Torres. Show us Brian Torres.
Hello, Brian.
Okay.
Welcome to the big show.
We didn't redeem ourselves, but...
All right. Is this Pajes or is this Crooks?
Pajes, probably.
Show us Pedro Pajes.
Now, you see what I did there, kids? I didn't even try to go for that ball. Most coaches will tell you, drop down, try to block the ball, but that's dumb. This position is called catcher. It ain't called drop and block the ball like a...
Go ahead, Marsh, run that thing.
Please.
All right, leading off, the shortstop. J.J. Weatherholt batting second. Your DH, Ivan Herrera, batting third in right field, Jordan Walker. Your cleanup hitter in left field, Joshua Baez, batting fifth. Playing first base is Blaze Jordan, batting sixth. The third baseman, the Furminator, Jose Fermin, batting seventh in center field is Everson Pereira. Batting eighth, playing second base, Brian Torres, and batting ninth and catching, Pedro Pajes.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair!
Go foul!
I don't believe what I just saw! Home run!
All right, what do we got for standings?
Same standings. We have been slow with the home runs as of lately, at least for us. They keep hitting them when we don't play.
I had Walker the other night, I think.
But not the night he hit the home run. He hit one last night.
No, he hit one
yesterday.
He hit one the other day, too.
Oh, he did in the ninth inning. Mm-hmm. He did hit one. So that would put you at 31 points. He's a two-pointer.
Yes, he is.
By the way, I think Mason Wynn is a little banged up.
Okay.
A little hand injury, slid in. I think he jammed his hand. So maybe they're just being cautious. A little cautionary thing there.
Gotta have your oven mitt on.
Yeah.
I love his oven mitt. I love the oven mitt. Moon was telling me yesterday, he goes, I don't like the oven mitts.
I'm not a fan of it either.
And I said, yeah, whatever.
I don't like when the kids wear them.
But I like Mason Wynn's oven mitt because it's got Fredbird on the mitt. I think it's cool.
Why don't you like when the kids wear them? Is it just a bit, too much?
It's all about the drip at that point. You ain't sliding.
You're not
going head first if you do.
You don't know.
Station to station, and you know it. All right.
Might have wheels.
Give me Jordan Walker, please.
Oh, goodness, of course. You proud of yourself?
Yeah. Yes, I'm very proud of myself.
All right. I don't think this is a full day off for Alec Burleson. We saw the other day that Joshua Baez had the day off, but came in as a pinch hitter. I think they do the same thing once a righty goes in the lineup in the 8th inning, and Alec Burleson comes in for a home run.
Okay.
Does Jamie want Pedro Paez?
Yeah, he loves Pedro.
He loves Petey. Give me Joshua Baez. He's due.
I thought about it.
The due factor.
I did. I thought about it.
Another 3-home run game.
He could. Maybe he saves his best for no, it was a Saturday, wasn't it? I was going to say Friday games, but that was a Saturday.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow's the day.
Maybe tomorrow's the day.
I wonder if they'll wear I don't know. Do the Phillies wear their baby blue jerseys on Saturdays? Do they still do that?
I have no idea.
Because I know they have the same thing. They
should both wear it.
That's a lot of baby blue on that field.
They should both wear it.
You're not a fan of the baby blue.
I like baby blue. I like the old baby blue.
It's not like you're throwing passes to, both
true.
teams on the field. You can wear both teams can wear it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter.
Looks a little weird, but yeah.
It's a battle of the baby blues.
Okay. Look, I'm fine with it. Are the Blues fine with the front office? Blues fans, I should say, but Blues fans fine with the front office? We'll tell you next on 101 ESPN. If you got nothing going on this weekend, now's a good time to head out to Auto Centers Nissan out in Herculaneum if you've been looking for your next new ride. Maybe you're not in the market for a brand new Nissan. Maybe you're looking at different makes, different models. Great. Auto Centers Nissan, they've got them. They've got plenty of used vehicles. In fact, they've got over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one location right out in Herculaneum, just right off I-55, minutes from South County. Auto Centers Nissan has a lot going on this month. First of all, they want to move a bunch of vehicles out of their lot so that they can make room for new inventory. In fact, over 100 vehicles must go. So right now, used inventory has huge price cuts going on. If you're looking at different makes, different models, SUVs, trucks, vans, cars, whatever you're looking for, Auto Centers Nissan, they've got it. Start first at autocentersnissan.com. There, you can pick out your vehicle and then look for the green Claim My Buyer's Bonus button. Once you click that button, you can unlock up to an additional $1,000 off the sales price. That's exclusively online. And then rest assured, the vehicles that you actually found online will be there for you at the dealership so you can test drive them. They've got the best service department, the best sales staff, they got the best financing that you'll find at any dealership in St. Louis or the greater Illinois area. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Tell them Stalter sent you. Blues fans in the Blues front office? Well, according to The Athletic, find out in a second. I'll give you some context first. So our boy Dom Lucian of The Athletic put together an article in which the NHL front office's confidence rankings were released. How do fans feel about every team in 2026? How confident are you in your team's front office? That's the question we ask every summer. A necessary heat check, writes Dom Lucian, on each team's management group and how their decisions are perceived by not only their own fan base, but the public at large. There can be irrational year-to-year movement, recency bias, and other weird results that happen anytime you ask a group of passionate fans to rate what their team is doing. It can be fueled by results more than process, struggle to find the balance between short and long term, and have too much optimism or pessimism depending on where a team is in its current contention cycle. Still, it works as a way to showcase the general perception around a team's brain trust. Last year, the Blues ranked 10th in these same rankings. They have dropped, CD.
Oh.
They're now 14th.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. So the Blues confidence ranking, the fans' confidence in the front office is 14th. I'll read you what they wrote. Quote, trying to stay competitive without tearing it down is made for some enjoyable seasons while also not being miserable. The idea of getting a high draft pick is nice, but losing every game kind of defeats the purpose of playing. The transition between Army and Steen has been seamless. It will be up to Steen now to ensure he keeps the pulse of the franchise on beat while ensuring a productive future. Time will tell. So those are a couple of quotes, I believe, from some fans. Dom writes, the jury is still out on the transition from Doug Armstrong to Alexander Steen as GM, but Blues fans are cautiously optimistic about the handoff. Last year's Justin Falk and Braden Shen trades were a masterstroke from Steen, and the regime at large earns high praise for the dual offer sheets. Landing Jimmy Snuggerud at number 23 in 2022 could prove to be a major win, too. Still, there are some quizzical decisions that keep the Blues out of the top 10. Extensions for Pavel Buchnevich and Cam Fowler immediately aged poorly, while this summer's Ross Johnston signing was a head-scratcher from Steen specifically. The main headline from the summer was the acquisitions of Mason McTavish and Connor McMichael. How they fare will likely dictate where Steen and company grade out next season. I think the last paragraph that I just read is incredibly fair. Those are the two big moves you made. You gave up some of your draft capital in order to bring in Mason McTavish and Connor McMichael. I also agree that the Buchnevich contract extension does not look good at all. And at least last year, the Cam Fowler extension didn't look good. I've got more confidence in Fowler rebounding than I do Buchnevich. Maybe you guys are maybe you think differently.
I think we're on the same island.
Dom, he doesn't like the Ross Johnston signing at all.
He's an analytical guy.
The way that Jamie has broken down the Ross Johnston deal and why they brought him in, giving him a little bit more money to not just be, the enforcer out there, so to speak, and whatever enforcer is in today's NHL, but also just the idea of paying a little bit more for somebody like that to keep him around a lot longer. You now have that role completely sewn up. So I don't mind that deal at all. Dom will never get over it. But for the most part, guys, I think this article or this couple of paragraphs is spot on. How do you guys feel?
I think you don't know, right? You don't know what's going to happen. I do find it interesting that it's basically saying the McTavish and McMichael signing, that'll be kind of the test of whether or not this was a good offseason for them.
Right.
This is the second time that I've heard that the Ross Johnston signing wasn't, favorable. I guess
same
guy,
same writer.
Yes, so I think that's intriguing to me because Jamie was very high on it because he feels like this team, the thing that they lacked was toughness.
Yep.
And I can't remember the guy's name. They have him, Alex and BK have him on every week, McDoodles.
Mike McKenna.
Mike McKenna. He was saying earlier.
Former goalie.
Yeah, former goalie.
Macadoodles.
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 What did I say, McDoodles?
McDoodles.
Yeah. Macadoodles. Mike McKenna. Hey, sorry about that, Mike. He was saying, he didn't want to say it, but he felt that Ross Johnston was kind of one-dimensional, which, yeah, it's intriguing to see how this whole thing plays out. I don't think it can be. I'm actually looking more forward to this year than I was last year. And last year I was pretty excited about, what they were coming off of and just barely, missing the second round and not finishing the way that they needed to. But I'm kind of more excited about this year than I was last year because I think you have more of an understanding of who players are and what they are not.
Sure.
Than you did last year.
I think that's fair.
And I think the Blues, that group in particular, I think they reached their ceiling. That we saw their ceiling in the playoffs. That was the ceiling of that particular group. Mm-hmm. And they went out and they identified what do we need? This is what we think we need. So now we just have to wait and see it come to fruition. I wonder if Blues fans had them at 10 last year because they did make the playoffs and they almost went to the second round and everybody was high on the Blues heading into this season. At least the fans were. And there were some national people that said, I don't know. I don't know where the scoring's going to come from. And we were like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, plenty of scoring.
Yeah, that actually came to fruition, the lack of secondary scoring.
Yeah.
We saw that happen all throughout the year. So I wonder if they took a step back because the team doesn't have the same amount of hype as they did heading into last year. But I don't think they dropped too much because clearly there's a section of the fan base that was happy with moving on from Jordan Kyrou, bringing in some other pieces. You had 3 first-round draft picks. They ended up doing something with that. I don't think people wanted them to make all 3 picks. So you ended up doing something with that. So there's moves being made, and we know that fans like moves being made, whatever it is, right? Whether it's trades, whether it's a signing, just make it appear that your team is getting better. And I think on paper it looks like they have gotten better. Now on the ice, we shall see. Hopefully it looks a little bit different because it kind of has to.
Yeah. Well, and I think they have enough changes, like they've made enough changes for it to look different. Whether or not it's going to be better, that'll largely depend on if you got the guys that last year struggled having rebound seasons. I think some of them will. I question whether or not somebody like Booch can have a rapid rebound. But I do think guys like Cam Fowler, knowing what he's done over his career in the NHL, I think last year was more of the outlier season for Cam Fowler than what's going to be the norm moving forward just because he signed a contract extension.
I think what's nice about this year, and maybe other people feel a different way, but when it comes to Pavel Buchnevich, I don't expect him to have to carry this team offensively in some particular way. Mm-hmm. If he's a third-line winger, I'm okay with whatever production that he gives you if it's the same as it's been over the last few years. I'm okay with that because my expectation for him is completely different than what it was the last few seasons.
Sure.
So we'll see how that goes. Would you call that a bounce back? I don't know. Maybe it's just we're tinkering our expectations for who this player is. The cap's rising. Maybe that contract won't look so bad here in a few years. I don't know. And maybe he does give you some extra production.
Yeah, maybe. Sorry, Marsh. That's Andrew Marsh. That's Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Cardinals rotation continues to have an excellent season numbers-wise. What does it mean, though, for the future? That's next on 101 ESPN. 3:06, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie will be back with us on Monday after serving his suspension. I don't know if you're supposed to go to the lake when you're suspended, but he sure did.
It's kind of like being suspended from school and you just sit at home all day and watch TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My parents would have been like, I don't think so.
Hell no.
No, you're going to be doing a lot.
Oh, yeah. You'd rather be at school, brother.
Let's start with you vacuuming the entire house. How about that? And then
Clean
after you're done,
everything.
why don't you go ahead and clean all the bathrooms?
Yeah, everything.
And after that, we'll find something.
Figure it out.
Did you guys ever skip school?
No.
Come on.
Carey did.
All the
I didn't.
time.
No.
Yeah.
I was the kid that always went, never paid attention.
Nah, I did.
So,
I mean, if you're not going to pay attention, you might as well not even go.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's how smart I was.
I missed a few times, man. More than a few times.
You know what, kids? School's starting up. Don't skip school.
Do not.
No, pay attention.
Pay attention, lock in.
Yeah.
Not great.
Trust us. It's easier when you do.
Yeah.
You know?
I
All
probably
your
shouldn't.
friends are at school anyways.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Probably shouldn't say this. I would, like, my mom, you guys met my mom.
She's great.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If there was, like, something big going on, I was like, hey,
Sports-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't going. Especially in October. When I was in fourth grade, it was the home opener at the New Busch Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 2:00 game. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers. I said, I got to watch this game.
Yeah.
I don't think TiVo or any of that stuff was around. I couldn't record the game. Maybe I could on a VHS.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I got to watch this game. It's the first ever game at the New Busch Stadium. So you're like, all right.
Nice.
Didn't go to school.
There's always like one moment in your childhood where you're like, oh damn, my mom or dad's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mine was I was not doing well in Spanish at all in high school, and I kept waiting for we had the day off or something like that, and I had a buddy over, and I knew my Spanish teacher was going to be calling my mom, and I was just waiting for that phone to ring. My mom.
So you can answer it?
Yeah. Well, no. No, she was going to call her at work.
Oh, okay.
So I was waiting for my mom to call me at home and, verbally assault me. And rightfully so. I was not doing well. Phone rings. Later in the day, I look at my buddy. I go, well,
nice
knowing you. Pick up the phone.
Lair.
No. I realized Lair was bad news.
He would have ratted
back in
you out.
preschool. No, I picked up the phone. Mom on the other line. Hey, Anth. Just got done talking to whoever the Spanish teacher's name was. So don't worry about it. She goes, don't worry about it. I'm not mad. I failed French when I was your age. She goes, don't sweat it. Like you gotta pass it, but
we'll figure it out.
Just pass it.
Yeah.
Right? Can you at least pass? I'm like, yeah, Mom, I can pass it. She goes, all right, cool. We're all right. I'll see you tonight. Like that was it. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. No. Cardinals. No easy transition here from my mother to the Cardinals. But the Cardinals starting staff, our guy Bernie Miklasz, who does a great job, he kind of writes these mini columns on X. This wasn't a mini column, but he put together some numbers as he's apt to do. And Bernie says, including Thursday's insane 10-9 win at Cincinnati, during the Cardinals' 12-6 run, they have a 2.98 starting pitching ERA. So again, including Thursday's 10-9 win over Cincinnati, during the current 12-6 run that the Cardinals are on, they have a 2.98 starting pitching ERA. So obviously it takes the bullpen out, just talking about the starters. Bernie says that will rank either 5th or 6th among the 30 teams since August 2nd, pending outcomes other than Thursday games. Even more impressive, Bernie notes, Cardinals have a 3.71 starter ERA since May 1st, which will put them 7th or 8th among the 30 clubs, depending on the results from yesterday, because he was compiling these stats right after the Cardinals win over Cincinnati. My question to you guys, does it feel like the Cardinals starting rotation is set for the future? Because they've performed well.
No.
Okay, good. Because that's how I look at those numbers, and I hate to do this because they're numbers. They're hard they're facts and stats, all right? Mm-hmm. But after I read that, immediately I go to, but Matthew Liberatore. But you don't have an ace. But you don't have maybe a 1 and 2. But this rotation has been excellent since August 1st and very good all season.
Maybe our definition of good needs to change. I mean, since May 1st, then that's a long time. That's a lot of games to have pitched to have a 3.71 starter ERA since then, putting you at 7th or 8th in all of baseball. To me, 3.71 isn't that great, but
top 10 in baseball.
It's top 10 in baseball. So maybe the way we view it, because I mean, Shohei is 1.85 in his ERA in his 80 starts. I know you know, and you've been keeping up.
Yeah. I think it's 1.73.
Miz is like 1.8 something. Like that to me is outstanding as an ERA. As a staff to be 3.71, I'm like, oh, that's decent. But if it's one of the top ERAs in all of baseball for your starting pitching staff, that is really damn good. And it does speak volumes to what they have done. And it should also give you hope because I think we are still lacking the ace pitcher. We're still lacking that real number two. I don't know what the future holds for Matthew Liberatore. I do feel like Kyle Leahy has positioned himself to be in the starting rotation next year for sure. I feel the same way about Andre Palante. Michael McGreevy as well. Matthew Liberatore? I don't know. But I think that with those three, and I think you're still needing that true ace and that number two pitcher.
Yeah.
But the numbers speak, so still doing well.
So we are getting some text messages that are funneling in, basically saying kind of hard to judge an ERA when pitchers are only going 4 to 5 innings. Totally get that.
Should it be quality starts then?
But
so Bernie, again, with the numbers, this is when I saw this, I was like, oh, wow, really? Most starts of 6+ innings pitched in the National League. Guess where the Cardinals rank?
First.
Dead last.
Which one?
Ooh.
If you're not first, you're last. Actually, that's not true.
Number 6 innings pitched.
Most starts of 6+ innings pitched out of all of the National League teams.
All right, I'll say.
Out of the National League team? Yeah, I'm going to say 14th.
I'll say third.
Anthony, you win. They are fourth with 51. Only the Dodgers, Phillies, and Diamondbacks have more starts of 6+ innings pitched.
Say the teams again for me, please.
Dodgers,
Okay.
Phillies, Diamondbacks. Cardinals are fourth. And this is just the National League.
Diamondbacks, I mean, not a total surprise. Dodgers and Phillies being 1-2.
Not a surprise.
That obvious.
Baseball is weird, man.
Baseball is
That means
weird.
nobody is pitching 6 innings. This is the way of the world.
Correct.
And so me, the old geezer, got to get used to it.
That's correct. Yeah.
Come on, man.
And you haven't yet, and knowing how stubborn you are,
I
Kerry,
ain't never going to do it.
you ain't never going to do it. I know you. You're saying the hell with it.
Yeah, I'm saying that's dumb every time.
So when we look at the games and we're wondering why these starters aren't giving us some length, just know that almost every single other baseball team in the league is doing the exact same thing for the most part.
Right.
Now the Dodgers, they're at 74. The Cardinals are at 51. The team that the Cardinals are playing, the Phillies, are at 59. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but still, compared to all of the other teams in the National League, Cardinals are doing pretty good in that department.
That they are. All right, Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We do have some sports six-packs coming up in a little bit, so feel free to send those questions in right now. 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Got a couple of six-packs that we'll do towards the bottom of the hour. Which NFL rookie head coach or head coaches will have the best and worst seasons? That's next on 101 ESPN. which rookie head coaches in the NFL will have the best and worst seasons? It's a Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So for those that don't know, this is just a rookie head coach. We're not talking about
First time ever being a head coach in the National Football League.
We're not talking about new head coaches.
It's not John Harbaugh
or
Saleh.
Stefanski or Saleh. We're talking about the rookie
Stefanski
head
would be at the
coaches.
bottom of that.
That's 100% accurate. Yes.
Yeah.
Joe. So here's your list. Joe Brady takes over for Sean McDermott in Buffalo. Joe Brady was the OC there, but now he becomes the head coach. Todd Monken is now the head coach in Cleveland after being the OC for the Baltimore Ravens for the last, 2-3 years? Mike LaFleur, almost said Matt. Mike LaFleur, who is Matt LaFleur's brother, is the Cardinals head coach. Jeff Hafley, who was the defensive coordinator for Green Bay the last 1 or 2 years, is the head coach now for the Dolphins. Clint Kubiak is the head coach of the Raiders after winning a Super Bowl as the OC last year for Seattle. And Jesse Minter, who was the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, is now the head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. So if you were to say who will have the best season of these rookie head coaches, who are you going with, CD?
I think it's easy to say Joe Brady or Jesse Minter because of the teams that they're taking over. Those two teams have quarterbacks that are established already, that have won MVPs, and I think the expectations are through the roof for both of those guys. I think it's easy to say those things.
You're going, but
I'm gonna say Jesse Minter, but if I were not allowed to choose those two, I would go Todd Monken. The Cleveland Browns.
Well, he came from a pretty well-ran organization.
That blew your mind?
Yeah.
Why?
Surprised.
I mean,
I'd have him fourth.
Okay.
He seems like a no-nonsense kind of guy, though.
You have him fourth behind Joe Brady and Jesse Minter.
And Clint Kubiak.
But behind those two.
Yeah.
So I said if I took those two off, he would be.
I'd
so
go
essentially number 3 for me.
Okay.
In your world, Anthony. Does that make you feel better?
No.
Okay.
How are we defining best and worst? Because you look at some of these teams, they're already playoff teams in our eyes. All you got to do is kind of show up and let the players play. Whereas other teams have been terrible for quite some time. Is it simply as winning more games than what Vegas has you winning before the season starts?
I think that's a good barometer.
I think it's, so for me, like I expect the Bills and the Ravens to be essentially where they have been, right? No matter who the coach is, I think they're still going to be playoff contenders as long as Josh Allen is healthy and as long as Lamar Jackson is healthy. Those two teams should be playoff contenders. For me, the Browns are a team that if I look at them and I see all of the things that they've done over the last couple of years in terms of drafting really well, bringing in the right players, doing things that have made their roster better. This team won how many games last year? 5, 6?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I think
I know they beat the Packers.
I think that they could double their win total from last year, as long as it's like 4 or 5.
I'm looking up the NFL win totals right now. If you give me a sec, I'll find those. Because I do think, Marsh, that's an interesting way of doing that. Because you're right, like Joe Brady had a great year. Well, he's got Josh Allen.
They won 5 games last year. Sorry.
Jesse Minter had a great year. Well, he's the best team.
Right.
So who do you want to know first? Win totals.
The Raiders.
Just the Raiders. 5.5.
That's their win total for this year?
Heavily juiced to the over, though. In other words, Vegas is looking at it and say they're probably a 6-win team.
What are they, like minus 165 to get over
Minus 150.
Okay.
So, again, if I'm reading, like, Vegas is out, they think they're either a 5 or 6-win team.
Okay.
Based on the odds. Who do you want to know next?
Show us the Browns.
The Cleveland Browns, 5.5.
Oh, no. See, I think they're going to be better than that.
Okay.
They won 5 games last year. I think they could be an 8-win team, 7 to 8 wins, which is vastly better than what they were last year, in my opinion.
So if I'm reading you right, and I do have some insight here because of how you've spoken about the Browns in the past, you feel as though the Browns QB situation won't be as bad as what most think.
Correct.
And with the way that the roster is, specifically on defense,
Yes.
they'll win 6 games at least.
At least.
Okay. So the way I look at it is the QB situation should not be messed with. I think it's a huge anchor, and I think that it'll sink the Browns throughout the season.
You don't trust either one of those guys.
Oh, God, no.
I'm looking at their schedule.
I think they got 2 competent quarterbacks.
I could see 6 wins. I think their defense can win them games.
That's what I'm trying
Let's
to tell
not
you, man.
forget, their defense alone can win them games.
What?
All you got to do is kick a couple field goals.
What do you got to say?
They had the NFL Defensive Player of the Year last year.
And the rookie defensive player of the year.
And the rookie defensive player. And they won 5 games.
They let Dylan Gabriel start like 4 of them, man.
5 games. Let's not act like Shadur Sanders was anything. Now, they were not well coached.
I think they're going to be better.
Especially on offense. They were not well coached.
I think they're going to be better.
All right. Who'd you like to know next? Baltimore?
Let's go with the Bill. No, Baltimore. Okay.
Go Baltimore.
11.5.
That's a good number for them. I can see them winning 12 games.
So Jesse Minter and Joe Brady, Buffalo, by the way, is 10.5. So those 2 teams.
Really? 10.5 for the Bills?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad that's the number because I was wondering, what does this look like with Joe Brady? I know that they needed to probably make a change because it just wasn't working with Sean McDermott. But I feel like Sean McDermott brought a sense of stability to the defense, and Joe Brady is an offensive guy. You guys have had your question marks surrounding the defense, and now Joe Brady steps in as a head coach and not just a guy that's calling plays. There's more to what he has to do now. I don't know if I'm completely sold on how that team will fare this year. I wonder if they'll hit some bumps throughout the year. So maybe 10.5 is a good number.
Would you be surprised if they took a step back this year?
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yes.
You would be?
I would be.
Based on?
Division.
You don't like the Patriots?
And Josh Allen.
Okay.
Josh Allen won Division 2. I think the Jets are horrible. I think the Dolphins are even worse. I think the Jets finished 3rd. I think the Dolphins finished dead last. I think the Dolphins are one of the. I think the Dolphins.
So there's 4 wins right there.
Dolphins, Cardinals, and Falcons will all vie for the top pick this year.
Why are you throwing the Falcons in there?
Because they don't have a quarterback.
He bobbled 1 snap.
He hates the Falcons, man. I've actually never seen someone.
I'm being honest, guys.
I
think they're going to be terrible
and hates his team.
If I knew Penix was going to be the starter, I wouldn't be talking like this.
Anthony, you know that this team, because they are the Falcons, will play good enough to not get a top 5 pick. You know it.
They don't have a pass rush.
You know.
They don't have a quarterback.
You're looking forward to a top 5 pick and a pretty good draft next year.
The 2 most important things in all of football,
they're going to win more
outside of offensive line, is the play of the QB and your pass rush. And you have neither.
They will win enough games.
They just signed
to get themselves out of the top
Smith
5.
coming out of retirement.
Yeah, man.
All set. Good.
Ready to roll.
Way to go.
Get to the quarterback, man.
Anyways, I'm talking about them. Cardinals, by the way, have a win total of 3.5.
I can see that.
I can absolutely see that.
I could actually see.
I think they might win 2.
Miami?
They have a hard schedule.
Same deal.
3.5? That's rough, brother. That's rough, man. I mean, Miami got rid of all their pieces are going offensively.
Yes.
Except for Devon Achane. Like, he's still there. But Jalen Waddle's gone. Tyreek Hill is out. Like, they don't have – I don't know who he's throwing the ball to.
Malik Washington, of course.
Well, of course.
Sure. Good luck.
Happy birthday, of course. All right. So let's – I say Buffalo. I say
As
Buffalo
your number 1 team?
wins 11 or 12 games. So that would be over this total. I could see Baltimore winning 11, which would actually be under. Really? Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland over?
Cleveland, I think, wins 5.
And Miami and Arizona both
I think
under.
they're both 3-win teams.
We missing one?
Yes. Who are we missing?
We didn't talk
Raiders.
about one team.
Raiders, we said 5.5. I think they go over.
I can see them winning 7 games.
I could see them win 6 or 7. I say 6. Tougher division. I'll say 6. And Mendoza's throwing pick 6s now, so, you know.
I mean, sometimes, Anthony, you throw it to the wrong guy. It happens.
It does happen.
Drew Aller should have been that first overall pick.
I guess so.
According to that Steelers fan on the text line.
Holy
Hey, man.
smokes.
Quarterback of the future, baby.
No doubt.
Looking good.
314-399-9646. Speaking of the text line, it's the Air Comfort Service text line. We got our Sports 6 packs coming up next, so feel free to send your questions in. We'll play that here on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals take on the Phillies tonight, a huge series for the Redbirds. They are at Citizens Bank Park in Philly, and we have a first pitch tonight at 5:40 with Hunter Dobbins on the mound. He'll face off against Jesus Luzardo. Coming up next, we will do our Sports Six Pack. So if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll answer your questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Again, we got our Sports Six-Pack rolling right now. 314-399-9646 of the Air Comfort Service text line. So you got a question, send it in now. Marsh, what do you got for question one?
Question number one.
All right, I figured somebody would text in about this lineup from the 314. Quite possibly the biggest series of the season starting tonight, and our best hitter is not in the lineup. If he's not hurt, Ollie should sit the bench with him. Is he hurt?
Jordan Walker's playing.
I think he's talking about Alec Burleson.
Oh, he said best hitter, not second best.
When was the last time Burleson got a day off?
Been a while.
I think he's probably just managing that. That's all. And I wouldn't look into it. I get it. It's a big series.
And it's a lefty on the mound. So
yeah, if you're going to give him a day off, give him a day off.
Yeah.
What series is not going to be big moving forward? Mm-hmm. You're in a wild card race where you're running out of time and you're down 2.5 games. So at some point, I think we'll see every single starter play, but probably not until September.
Anthony, they got a day off on Monday.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, he gets a day off today and then on Monday as well.
I don't think he's getting the day off. I think he's going to be inserted into the lineup at the tail end of the game when you get to the Phillies bullpen. I genuinely believe that. I don't think he'll have a full day off.
Maybe if they beating the hell out of him.
Well, yeah. If the Cardinals have a sizable lead, or if the Phillies have a sizable lead, and there's really no use of bringing him in, then maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's a close game, and there's a chance for Burley to come into the game and get a hit, then he will play. So you got to give him some time. Give him some time off his feet.
What are you laughing at?
Just Marsh's thought process there and how he got there and the long pause that he gave.
I do that a lot. I like to pause, talk.
I do that a lot too.
Then pause.
It's called the pregnant pause, I believe.
And then talk.
Yeah.
The pregnant pause. What is that?
That's what it's called.
Why is it called the pregnant pause?
Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Is it a myth like the goldfish thing?
Probably. I'm honestly questioning everything now.
We should make sure we look things up before we speak about them on air.
Well, you know what?
Like Christian Alexander getting traded to the Cowboys? Or Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez.
I saw that's
Jamie. We may need to revoke Jamie's Twitter privileges.
Come on, man.
He sends us stuff. So what we're talking about, he sends us stuff in our group text chain, our Fast Lane group text chain, stuff that, stories that he has found. And on, Wednesday night?
Was it last night?
No, it was Wednesday
night.
Was
it Wednesday night?
Yeah. He sends out a text with a graphic and everything.
Yeah. ESPN,
top left corner.
Yeah.
The Patriots are trading Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, to the Cowboys for like a slew of picks.
The account name was like Cowboys Lover or something like that.
The Cowboys are all in.
The account name was like, "This is fake."
I've gotten to the point where that's not real, Jamie. And I go about my day.
Yeah.
This
isn't the first time. You might be thinking, wow, you guys are a little harsh. No, this is not the first time that Jamie has done this.
Here's the name. Cowboys 2027 Super Bowl champs. That's the name.
Unreal.
Yeah, man. I just respond as politely as possible. Go about my day.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look real.
It actually does.
It is a good graphic. It looks
but
real.
When you actually click on it and you start, all it takes is an additional 10 to 15 seconds is about all it takes to really figure out whether or not this is a verifiable source. Like if this is a real thing that you're looking at, about 10 to 15 more seconds. A minute would give you too much time. So less than a minute, but more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And why would the Patriots trade that guy?
Why the hell would they do that?
They're contending, so doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
We love Jamie.
Yeah, he's something.
Question number 2.
All right, from 618. Who on the Blues this year has the most pressure on them going into this season?
Who on the Blues has the most pressure?
Correct.
Joel Hofer.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best one. Because I was going to say Robert Thomas, but I think everybody the expectations are just that Robert Thomas is going to have a good season.
Pressure comes from when guys are looking for contracts, getting their first opportunities as like the guy. Like I think when you were watching, who last year was trying to get their new contract? Not Philip Broberg.
Yeah.
Was it Philip Broberg?
Yeah.
But I don't think he was pressing.
Yeah, I don't know who else it would be.
Dylan Holloway. Dylan Holloway was dealing with some injuries, and I think when you're dealing with injuries and you're trying to show and prove that you are deserving of, the money that is coming to you at some point. Sometimes you might press a little bit and do more than you actually need to. I think he pressed a little bit, maybe pressed himself to try to play even though he wasn't healthy. I think all of those things take place. I think pressure comes from you are looking for life-changing money, and you're getting the opportunity to be in a role that maybe you weren't in previous years. And that would be, for me, Joe Hofer, starting, potentially being the 1A goaltender for the St. Louis Blues this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, sure he wants to be paid well for it.
When we look at this question, are we looking at more so the top players? Because, you can make an argument for those fourth-line guys. Like, hey, you might not be in the lineup.
Right.
So there's a ton of pressure on those guys to even make the opening night team.
Sure. I mean, you could go up and down the lineup and say there's some pressure here.
McTavish, the new guys.
Like, why did? And I know Cam Jansen was talking about this yesterday, and this has been discussed before. Why did Joel Quenneville decide not to play Mason McTavish in the playoffs last year? Now, it may have just been Quenneville just didn't love something about McTavish's game. Maybe there's something, maybe there's more to the story. I don't know. But I do think there's some pressure. There's some pressure there.
What about Logan Mailloux?
I think there was more pressure on him last year.
You think so?
Because of the Zach Bolduc deal.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Bolduc. Everybody was pissed at the trade, and the spotlight was on Mailloux. And then in the second half, people were like, Iku.
Yeah.
Mailloux's all right.
I like this guy.
This guy Mailloux's okay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because of some of the new defensemen that could be inserted into the lineup. I think he'll still play. I think, but
it's fair.
Obviously, there are going to be some critics out there of his play because at times it was not pretty.
No. But now, who were you talking about? Most of the Blues last year?
No, I said one particular person, but Anthony, that's a good call.
Thank you.
That is a good call.
And I thank you.
Pretty much all them dudes.
Question 3, please. I rest my case.
Question number 3.
All right, Anthony, I think you will like this question. And I just lost it.
Oh, no.
I can't remember who
pumped me up on that, and then you just take it away.
I know what it was, though. At what time of the year is it appropriate to put up Christmas lights?
For me, it is the day after Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving is a massive holiday. So why not
give it the attention
it deserves? Now, I realize Thanksgiving might not be, one that you decorate the whole house for. But I think once Thanksgiving is over with, bringing out all the Christmas lights, Christmas trees, all that, I think that works.
Have at it.
So for me, I've talked about this on these airwaves. Favorite tradition that we do in the Stalter household is just kind of developed since the kids were born. Thanksgiving, Thursday, obviously Friday, we do either the tree or the lights outside, and then Saturday is the other. And it's usually depending on the weather because we got a hill in the back, Carey. And 1 year, 2 years ago, I think it was, I've got the ladder up on the hill because I'm stringing up the Christmas tree lights outside, and doing all that. A little bit of snow, hill, pine needles.
Oh, no.
Not great. And I did fall.
Off the ladder? Or did the ladder slide?
I had the ladder. I was carrying the ladder back down the hill. And then I went backwards, and I've got all my hands full. Right? Okay. So my arm got caught in the freaking ladder as I was carrying it down.
I heard like it.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah. Killian saw the whole thing. He goes, "Hey, you okay?"
Killian's seen a lot, man.
Yeah, well, because he's always helping.
He's
always
seen a
helping.
lot. He saw the fish.
Yeah,
he's seen some things.
Yeah. He's gonna have some issues growing up. But yeah, so I said, "Hey, buddy, I'm okay. I'm all right. Why don't you go inside and I'll be in a second." And then I mother blanked everything. I went in that garage. I wish the camera was on me. I mother blanked the hill. I mother blanked the ladder. I mother blanked those pine trees. I mother blanked everything.
Every part of it.
Every part of it. Yep. But anyways, I say the day after Thanksgiving. What do you guys say?
I think anything after that is fine. I think when you start putting up Christmas things around Halloween, you should be sent to jail. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Halloween, you got two more events. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you get to October and you're starting to put up Christmas stuff, hey man,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's some issues.
The HOA should fine you whatever the maximum amount is at that point.
Okay.
That should be in the bylaws.
There's some people that just leave them up all year.
Yeah, those people also, them too. Yeah.
Get your ass back on that ladder.
Come on, man.
Take that stuff down.
Yeah,
Get on that ladder.
When do you guys stay off that ladder? When do you guys take everything down?
It depends. So by the new year, first week of January, we gotta get this stuff going down.
Because you got a day off or two.
Yeah.
I take it down after New Year's.
If I miss that time frame, if I'm out of town or I'm doing something, then I give myself maybe a week at most, but by the 7th, 8th, or 9th of January,
it doesn't feel right.
What are we doing here?
It doesn't feel right to have everything still
It's
up.
no longer Christmas.
Yeah. I give everybody a good month. You got a month, people, to enjoy this stuff.
What if you had these lights that could change colors? So, Halloween, they're orange, right? And then you could leave them orange for Thanksgiving, and then you switch them to green and red for Christmas.
The HOA will allow
and
those.
Then, you leave them up all year, and they're red, white, and blue for Memorial Day and 4th of July and Labor Day. And you just, you're just bouncing around. Easter, they're like pink and green and blue and all these different things. Is that okay?
That's okay for me. I can get with that. But if you leave Christmas decorations up and it's March,
like a giant Santa Claus,
somebody should knock on your door and say, "Hey, police are outside looking for you.
We got issues.
They want to talk to you." Yeah. What I do? Get these damn Christmas decorations up, and it's March 14th.
Right.
Get them down
now.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter. We'll continue our sports six-pack with question number 4 next.
question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me.
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Before we get to the sports six-pack, some news out of Cardinals Nation here. As Derek Gould tweets out, Andre Palante is going on the IL with elbow inflammation. No structural damage, so that's good. Team expects a minimum stay, so it'll either be 10 or 15 days. Quinn Matthews joins the starting rotation, and he'll start on Saturday. Kyle Leahy will start on Sunday. So tonight it'll be Hunter Dobbins. Tomorrow it'll be Quinn Matthews. On Sunday it'll be Kyle Leahy. Ryan Fernandez is going to the bullpen, available at ballpark by game time.
Cool.
So,
well, not cool.
Well, not cool, yeah.
That the injury's happening, but things are moving and shaking.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's the Cardinals news. Marshy, question 4, please.
Question number 4.
All right, let's head out to the Air Comfort Service text line. And we get a text from Curb Stomp. Curb Stomp wants to know, what do you think is Matthew Liberatore's biggest problem? Is it pitch count, or is it going through the order a third time?
Pitch selection?
I would say pitch selection.
Like,
All right, expound. I'm listening.
picking the wrong pitches at the wrong time?
Okay.
And getting hit hard? I mean, I don't know if it's I can't say it's a fatigue issue because sometimes those blow-ups happen in the first inning. Well, you said pitch count, or what was the other option? Marsh?
Third time through the order.
No. It's
sometimes it doesn't make it to the third time. Yeah, so we can eliminate that.
Yeah, you eliminate that one. It's pitch selection, or maybe not the selection, the location.
I think it's more of a location issue. I think his command, and I'm no pitching coach, obviously.
Not yet.
Yeah,
you actually are.
Yeah,
you do. You do this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I think it's a location problem. I think his command is off in that inning, and I think teams absolutely take advantage of it.
Well, his fastball is not good.
No,
unless he is locating it. Like, you can get away with not saying that he throws like an 80-mile-per-hour fastball by any means, but with where pitchers are nowadays and they're throwing upper 90s, if you're not throwing that, you have to be on target. Otherwise, these hitters are going to knock you around. And we saw that the other night when they wanted to go with the high fastball to set up the off-speed to try and get Sal Stewart out. And he threw that sucker right down the pipe.
Yes.
And it was gone.
He doesn't miss barrels. He gets hit hard. He doesn't get a lot of chase. He doesn't get a lot of whiff.
I mean, he looked good the other night, though.
He did.
That curveball looked nasty. When that curveball is working, it looks nasty and unhittable.
Yes. Other than that, he gets hurt. I think it's command issue more than anything. Just my take. Next,
we solved it.
Question number 5.
We did. You and I.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right.
It's fixed.
It's done. Check.
We're waiting on the Cardinals. I'll check.
You're welcome. Figure that out. What else you got for us?
So we have a few soccer questions coming through. We actually talked soccer yesterday.
I heard.
And Moon was breaking it down for us. But Anthony, it's your time to break it down. This is from the 314, are you believing in this City SC squad? Have you bought back into what City SC is doing?
Well, how could you not, given the fact that they have not lost in how many now? What's the current run?
I think it's 11. 11 or 12?
The unbeaten streak?
Yeah, what's the unbeaten streak at right now?
Jeez.
You're supposed to be telling us.
All right, 10 straight.
I think it's more one.
They're 10 straight unbeaten.
11.
Son of, I told you.
I missed one.
Said 11.
All right, 11. City SC's they take in the unbeaten streak to of 11 going into Saturday against the Houston Dynamo. Yes.
Is that now unbeaten streak? Because there are ties. That
Correct.
Doesn't mean
they haven't lost,
but they haven't necessarily won.
No.
They haven't won a few.
Well, they won some, but they
haven't won them all.
An 11 in a row.
It's not an 11-game winning streak. It's an 11-game unbeaten streak.
So you would be more excited if it was an 11-game winning streak versus just not losing.
But this is soccer, and draws matter, both on the pitch and off the pitch.
Okay. Oh, sure. All right.
Houston, though, 38 points, 12-6-2. St. Louis, 30 points, 8-6-6. Houston, even hotter in terms of the results. They actually have 5 straight wins, 5 straight clean sheets, and now we're sitting alone atop the Western Conference. So this is going to be quite a test for City coming up on Saturday. So they haven't lost in 11, but an unbeaten streak isn't automatically evidence that you're a great team. Eventually, you're going to need to beat the teams that are sitting above you. So I think it's great that they've gotten to this point. But Houston is first in the West. They have won 5 straight, like I mentioned, haven't allowed a goal during their winning streak. So if City really wants to make an emphatic statement coming off this unbeaten streak or with this unbeaten streak, simply, being competitive against Houston probably won't cut it. Have I bought back in? Yeah, absolutely. It's quite remarkable what they've done given all that has happened, from changes in head coaches to changing in front office personnel. They lost their best player when he went back to Germany. So there's been some stuff. But pick up a win on Saturday, and who knows? And I do wonder if what do you got, Kerry?
Oh, I just said yes.
Oh, you just give me the rock on sign?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right. Yeah. What else you guys got?
Oh, we got a criticism from Gooey. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, go ahead, Gooey.
This show knows more about Christmas lights, spelled lights wrong, than soccer or Cardinals pitching.
Well, Gooey? Buttercake? Thank you.
I had some gooey buttercake cookies last night, actually.
What does it say about you that you are listening then?
Maybe you're going to be like Patrick H.
If you know that we don't know soccer, which, hell, I can't blame you, or Cardinals pitching, what does it say about you as you sit there and you feel so compelled to send us a text message while listening to the show you hate?
That is intriguing. That's a very valid question.
Open-ended, by the way.
Why stay somewhere?
Not rhetorical. Open-ended.
Where you feel like it's terrible.
Because I know if I watch a bad movie, I ain't going back.
You're not going to watch it again, or you're going to leave out of the
TV
theater?
show. I don't like the pilot. I'm not feeling it. I move on.
Do you turn it off midway through?
I have.
I think I've only turned off one movie. I can't remember what it was. I generally will watch it.
Yeah. Like I just got to. I'm so pissed. I got to.
Let me see how it ends.
Yeah.
I did stop watching.
TV shows a better example.
I have stopped watching TV shows in the middle of it. Like The Walking Dead, I was so into it, man. And then after a while, I was just like, yeah, nah.
Severance was like that for Kristen and I.
Really?
Like we watched the first season, we're like, oh, this is really interesting. This is interesting. We watched the first couple of episodes of season 2, and we're like, I'm out. I'm out.
It was getting a little too crazy for you.
Well, here's the thing, Marsh. It's not like we can't follow it. It's just I don't care. You know?
I kind of felt that way.
I stopped caring about what was behind all the doors. I'm like, we're done here. I'm out.
Because it took so long to answer the question.
Yes. You got to give me something.
I mean, they're not going to give away the entire season in episode 2.
No, but you got to give me a little.
Give me something to keep me coming back.
Exactly.
Get a little bit.
It's not just about the hook. Like you got to finish something.
You got me hooked already. Now give me something to keep me coming back.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But
he gets it.
Again, going back to the psychology of this human being, what are you? If you're bored, there's certainly other shows. What's the deal? And the criticism of the soccer stuff, it's old. You got nothing. I listened to Moon yesterday. break down the soccer stuff, and then passive-aggressively take shots at non-soccer fans, which seems to be that, I will say that soccer fan. Not all soccer fans, that soccer fan. It's right out of that soccer fan's playbook. All I have to do is really not give it. I think he gave us the standings. Went over the standings, said there's a big game on Saturday, and then jumped right to how he doesn't like non-soccer fans. Okay. That seems to be that soccer fan's playbook. Ooh. We cool?
Gooey came back.
What do you got, Gooey?
It's a good point. Turning this garbage off.
Perfect. Good. Done deal.
Gooey.
You're welcome, Goo.
Been real, brother.
You're welcome, Goo Bear.
See ya, Gooey.
All right. Marsh has got business to attend to. Yeah. Jude, Marsh. Round 3 of the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:04, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Jude is back for round 3. What's up, Jude?
Nothing much. How about you guys?
Well, we're not doing great, Jude. You're kicking all of our butts. So Marsh is up now because Jamie decided that he was afraid of you and took a last-second day off. So now if you get past Marsh, you can humiliate Jamie on Monday. Sound good?
Sounds good. It sounds like you guys are really just trying to ice me right now, too.
No.
Not Jamie or anything?
Nope.
It's happened that way.
Yep, absolutely. So, out of curiosity, would you have taken Jamie today? Had he been an option?
I think so. Well, I haven't really made my decision, but I think I was going to go with him.
Okay, all right. Well, you got Marsh nonetheless, and the way that you've performed against Carey and I think you're going to be just fine. So, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel, and then we'll kick him out. He'll go to the cone of silence.
Marsh, spin that wheel.
All right, the wheel has been spun. Marsh is going to get out of here. Now, you've had random the first 2 times, right, Jude?
I have, yes.
All right, you hoping for random again?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the wheel what I want, no.
Okay, all right.
Jude understands.
Jude
It's
gets
not
it.
random.
So if you're not going to, I don't know what it is. If it's not random, what would you want?
I'm thinking with baseball, probably.
It's baseball.
Got baseball. Wow. Okay. All right, Jude, so you're going to get 4 baseball-related questions today. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready? Thank you, Kerber.
I sure am.
All right, here we go, Jude. Question 1. Can you tell us the year in which the Minnesota Twins drafted oft-injured star Byron Buxton, number 2 overall?
Number 2 overall. Okay. I have an idea, but I don't want to throw it out there and not get a point here. I'm thinking 2015 or 2016. I'm going to take the options here just to be safe.
Sure. Your options are 2012, 2014, or 2015.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with 2015.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. This former Pirates outfielder, a .241 career hitter in 2,883 at-bats, over 823 games, had numerous clashes with the Cardinals throughout the 2010s. Name him.
You said former?
Former Pirates outfielder.
Can you read the stats, the whole question, really?
Sure. This former Pirates outfielder, a career 241 career hitter in 2,883 at-bats, over 823 games, had numerous clashes with the Cardinals throughout the 2010s. Name him.
Okay. I'm thinking Clutch, Andrew McCutcheon right now. The games is what throwing me off. He was injured for a while, but you said around 800 games, I believe. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to take the options again.
All right, is it Jose Bautista, Quentin McCracken, or Gregory Polanco?
It was Gregory Polanco. Yep.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question 3, Jude. Marty Marion, the 1944 National League MVP with St. Louis, played on 3 different World Series title teams. What was his position?
Yeah, I'm going to ask. I don't have any clue here. What are the options?
Catcher, second base, shortstop.
I think it's going to be... I'll go with shortstop.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 4. Please identify the crafty lefty who went 3-0 in 4 postseason starts for the 1998 Padres, who reached the World Series? Hint, he also made an 8-game cameo for the 2003 Redbirds.
I'm going to need options on those two.
Is it Sterling Hitchcock, Brett Tomko, or Bob Welch?
None of those names strike a bell, so we'll just go with Bob Welch. Was that the last name you said?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with him.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, we'll bring back our guy Marsh from the Cone of Silence. Jude, how you feeling?
I can be feeling a lot better right now, that's for sure.
All right. Yeah, this is Marsh is walking in here. So Marsh is heading back to the mic. He was in the Cone of Silence. Marsh, how we looking?
Doing good, talking with Bradford and just going over some stuff.
You and Bradford are going to do some radio here pretty soon.
Yeah, we will. Hopefully not within the next 15 minutes. He said that he is available to take over for me if I have to go sit over there.
Oh, that's right. We need to think about that.
I see him later.
Okay. All right. Well, Marsh, your category today is baseball.
Okay.
Hey, Marsh, pack a lunch.
Alrighty.
And here we go. Can you tell us the year in which the Minnesota Twins drafted oft-injured star Byron Buxton, number 2 overall?
Oh, jeez. The year. Drafted him. Man. How long has he been with the Twins? He's been there for a long time. I don't know why 2012 comes to mind, but is that too soon? Let's take the options.
2012, 2014, 2015.
I got to go with 2012. Final answer.
Question number 2. Chokes me up a little bit.
Yeah,
this former Pirates outfielder, a .241 career hitter in 2,883 at-bats over 823 games, had numerous clashes with the Cardinals throughout the 2010s. Name him.
Say his numbers again. Well, can you just repeat the question?
Sure, not a problem. This former Pirates outfielder, a .241 career hitter in 2,883 at-bats over 823 games, had numerous clashes with the Cardinals throughout the 2010s. Name him.
Why am I blanking on his name? I'm blanking on his name right now. He was center fielder. He was on the cover multiple times. Oh, Andrew McCutchen. We'll go with Andrew McCutchen. Final answer.
Question 3. Marty Marion, the 1944 National League MVP with St. Louis, played on 3 different World Series title teams. What was his position?
Options.
Catcher, second base, shortstop.
Let's go with what year you say?
1944.
Marty the Party it. Shortstop. Final answer.
Final question. Please identify the crafty lefty who went 3-0 in 4 postseason starts for the 1998 Padres, who reached the World Series. Hint, he also made an 8-game cameo for the 2003 Redbirds.
He's with the Padres. 2003? Was Woody Williams on the Padres? Say that last part again.
Please identify the crafty lefty who went 3-0 in 4 postseason starts for the 1998 Padres, who reached the World Series. Hint, he also made an 8-game cameo for the 2003 Redbirds.
No, Woody Williams wasn't a lefty. Let's use the options.
Is it Sterling Hitchcock, Brett Tomko, or Bob Welch?
Let's go Brett Tomko. I remember him being a Cardinal. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these. Jude versus Marsh. Round 3. Start with question 3. Marty Marion, the 1944 National League MVP with St. Louis, played on 3 different World Series title teams. What was his position? You guys are both disgusted with this question, and you both took the options. You both also said shortstop. Correct answer is
The shortstop.
Nice work, guys. We got a 1-1 tie. Please identify the crafty lefty who went 3-0 in 4 postseason starts for the 1998 Padres, who reached the World Series. Here's your hint. He also made an 8-game cameo for the 2003 Redbirds. Jude took the options. He went with Bob Welch. Marsh took the options. He went with Brett Tomko. Correct answer is...
Sterling Hitchcock.
So Sterling Hitchcock.
Alfred's brother.
Yeah. Did some movies. Also pitched a little. Still knotted up 1-1. Can you tell us the year in which the Minnesota Twins drafted oft-injured star Byron Buxton, number 2 overall? Jude said, man, I think it's 2015. Listen to the options for confirmation. 2015 was an option, so Jude landed on 2015. Marsh said, man, is 2012 too early? Listen to the options. 2012 is an option. He went with 2012. Correct answer is
2012.
Marsh takes a 1-point lead. 1 question remaining. This former Pirates outfielder, a .241 career hitter in 2,883 at-bats over 823 games, had numerous clashes with the Cardinals throughout the 2010s. Name him. Without the options, Marsh went with Andrew McCutchen. With the options, Jude went Gregory Polanco.
That's a good name.
If it's Andrew McCutchen, Marsh wins in somewhat of a rout. If it's Gregory Polanco, we're going to a walk-off. One of you is correct. Correct answer is...
Gregory Polanco.
Wow.
Walk it off.
You want to hear your options, Marsh?
Yeah, it sounds like Andrew McCutchen probably was not an option.
Jose Bautista, Quentin McCracken, and Gregory Polanco.
McCutchen had a lot more at-bats.
That makes sense. He threw a bunch of numbers at me.
Yeah, it gets confusing.
2010s, Andrew McCutchen, whatever. Gregory Polanco. Good job, Jude. Another barn burner.
McCutchen too, but
Jude was thinking McCutchen at first as well. Then he said, you know what, give me the options.
Why did I not just say 2012 for Byron Buxton? I would have won.
Hey, put that behind you.
Here we are.
We're in a tie-breaking situation.
Let's go.
All right. So it's going to work. Jude, you're going to hold off on your answer. Marsh is going to write down his answer first. Once Marsh shows us, then you go. You ready to go, Jude?
Sure am, yep.
Marsh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Here's your closest to the pin tiebreaker. Pirates ace Paul Skeens has recently experienced a noticeable dip in fastball velocity, but he still ranks among the game's leaders in strikeouts. How many Ks has Skeens recorded through 25 starts? How many Ks has Skeens recorded through 25 starts?
I don't know.
Marsh is writing down his answer.
Not right.
Okay.
I don't like
We got Marsh's answer. Jude, what's your answer?
Sorry, real quick. Could you ask if it's his average strikeouts per game or how many he has?
No, how many Ks total has Skeens recorded through 25 starts?
I'm going to go with probably about 165.
We do not need a calculator.
Yeah.
We do not need a calculator. How many Ks has Paul Skeens recorded through 25 starts? Andrew Marsh, you wrote down?
112.
Jude said 165. One of you is one off.
Wow.
Carey.
166.
Jude.
You have chosen wisely.
Jude, Jamie called you a problem on Wednesday, and he'll have a problem on Monday as he goes for his second straight save. Congratulations,
Wow.
Jude. You get to party all weekend knowing that a Gauntlet trophy's on the line come Monday.
Not a lot of partying and a lot of studying, that's for sure.
Good for you, Jude. Good for you. We knew
job,
you were an
Jude.
issue with your
knows
studying.
everything.
He does. Nice job, Jude. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll call you Monday.
See you Monday.
All right. Bradford Bruns is going to have to step in now because, Marsh, you got to go to the same spot that Carey and I spent a little time in this week. That's called the penalty box.
Yeah.
Taking us to the woodshed, man.
Hey, Jude.
Should have just went with my gut with that Byron Buxton question. It was the first question.
Man, alive. There's men alive in here. All right, we got Chris Kerber coming up at the bottom of the hour. Why don't we get into...
Do a quick what's trending.
Yeah, let's do that, Marsh. I like that. Let's do a quick what's trending here on 101 ESPN.
Buckle up. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
All right, we got to kick it over to the penalty box where our guy Andrew Marsh sits after losing to Jude in round 3 of the Gauntlet. Marsh has got some topics for us for what's trending.
Yeah, so I believe I sent this to you guys yesterday in our group chat, and it was from NHL Public Relations. And this is what it had to say on X. The NHL and FC Bayern today, which was yesterday, announced a first-of-its-kind strategic multi-year partnership designed to accelerate the growth of hockey in Germany and the development of FC Bayern in North America. The unique collaboration is part of the NHL's long-term international growth strategy in Germany, which includes regular season games in the country for at least the next 3 seasons, starting with the 2026 NHL Global Series in December. I think this is quite fascinating how an NHL league, essentially, the hockey league, is partnering with a soccer club. Am I wrong? Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, there's some when it comes to like on the field stuff, there's certainly some crossover between soccer and hockey and the way the game is played and the dimensions and how you utilize or take away time and space and all that. But as far as the two entities getting together, Marsh, I'm with you on that. I don't really understand. Do you have more thoughts on that? Like, I know you found that story and you found it interesting. Was there something that you wanted to highlight?
I think what I took away from it, and maybe I'm wrong, I guess FC Byron is coming over to the United States to help kids with soccer. That's kind of what I gathered from it, but maybe I'm wrong in that. But the NHL goes over there. We teach kids how to play hockey, and we get hockey fans over in Germany. And over here, we have a soccer team. Come teach the youth of America.
Bradford, makes sense.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Makes
on
sense.
that.
Makes sense of it for us,
guys. I think it's pretty interesting from the standpoint of clearly there is a really concerted effort here on the part of the NHL at minimum, Marshy, to really foster and continue to expand in that market specifically of Germany. Because if memory serves, not only do you have a game coming up in this coming regular season campaign, but thereafter, basically trying to broaden the landscape there. Trying to broaden the interest level in Germany. Where I am struggling to find really the connective tissue right now is how it relates to soccer as well. I understand it from the puck standpoint. I really get that. But trying to view it now through the perspective, that lens of the hockey-soccer partnership, I think that also still has to be further developed. But I definitely get it from the NHL standpoint as well, because Germany seems to really be getting tapped here as a market in which you want to put more resources and bring more eyeballs to the product.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have Leon Draisaitl, who's from Germany. He's one of the best players in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
You can find more Leon Draisaitl's out there. I think that would be beneficial. But speaking of soccer, I don't know. Did you guys see that the MLS is thinking about expanding their playoff to 20 teams?
Yes, I did see that.
What did you think about that?
Yeah.
I think that's so stupid.
Yeah, they're right. I did see that. That's kind of the big MLS news of the day. So for those that don't know, and I don't want to tick off soccer fans here, so let me get the actual facts here.
Stats and facts, Anthony.
Stats and facts. Along with a new scheduling format, Major League Soccer is preparing to overhaul its playoff structure in the 27-28 season. The 30-team league, which will switch to a fall to spring schedule in 27-28 to match other soccer leagues, is eyeing a postseason format with as many as 20 teams, The Guardian reported yesterday. The league is also planning to move away from 2 conferences and go with a 5-division setup. The top 20 teams, regardless of division, would advance to the postseason. The bottom 8 would play in a play-in round, with the winners advancing to join 12 other teams. The top 8 in the regular season standings would play in a double elimination round. A win would send a team to the quarterfinals, while the losers would get a second life in another playoff round, similar to the Page playoffs in curling.
What?
Currently, the top 9 teams in each conference make the MLS playoffs. MLS will play a shortened season in 27 before going to its new schedule for the 27-28 season. So there's a lot happening.
They already have 18 teams in?
8. Well, currently the top 9 teams in each conference make in each
18.
conference. Yeah,
so 18.
Yep.
So 20 now, 2/3 of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Do the other 10s get relegated? Are they out of the league if they don't make the playoffs, since it's so easy to get in now?
I don't think so.
Or you're talking 20 teams. That sounds like the NBA.
Nah. Those teams don't really get into the playoffs, though. It's like the play-in.
Hey, there's
like
not even a play behind
the first
Kerry,
4.
Kerry, he's sitting behind you. I'll let you know he's smirking right now.
It's like the first 4.
You should see Bradford's face. It looked like a farted in his mouth.
It's so real.
Jeez.
You're telling me 66% of the field, in essence, qualifies?
2/3, brother.
I wasn't going to reference the NBA, the play-in proceedings. And hey, as somebody who likes complicated stuff, this is needlessly convoluted here. Tell me what we're doing, for real. I need a flow chart.
No, nobody can. Yeah. It's like some of it's going to be single elimination, some of it's going to be double elimination. Sometimes some of these are going to be, it's a play-in. Like, there's a lot going on here. I'll tell you what, the 10 teams that don't make the playoffs, though, should probably be ashamed of themselves.
That's why I said they get relegated. Like, if you get 2/3 of the league in and you can't make it. I mean, hell, and now that's the participation.
Kerry, you're not wrong.
Madison Marie was talking about, my wonderful daughter.
You're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Actually, no, I don't know.
Participation trophy. My daughter.
His Super Bowl ring.
My Super Bowl ring is a participation trophy.
You know what? I don't like you bringing that up again.
You know
You're
what?
done
It's
here.
Get out of here.
You're done. You're suspended.
Right now?
Rest of the show.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to talk about your attitude recently. You're done.
Okay. That's how you all want to play it.
Chris Kerber will join us next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley, St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
You know what? We are in the dead of the summer heat. You know what it's like in St. Louis. But look, as a homeowner, there's just certain things that you have to do. You've got to change the air filter on that air conditioning unit, for example, and you've got to maintain it. If you want to avoid catastrophic problems, you've got to have that air conditioner maintained in the summer, the furnace maintained in the winter. And where do you go? You go to Classic Air Care. Log on to classicaircare.com. You can book an appointment. And no matter what, sometimes their machines, they break. You got to replace them. They need repairs. These are the people you can trust. There's a reason they've got 9,000 five-star ratings with a Google rating. They've got over 100 vans on the road. They can get to you typically within 24 hours as well. So if something's going on with your air conditioning unit at home, get a hold of the folks at Classic Air Care. You can also go to classicaircare.com now, nominate somebody for their Feel the Love campaign. In conjunction with Lennox, they're teaming up to give a local hero a brand new heating and cooling unit. So if you know a local hero, log on to classicaircare.com and nominate somebody today.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Phillies tonight with Hunter Dobbins on the mound. He'll face off against Jesus Luzardo. First pitch from Citizens Bank Park is at 5:40. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber, joins us next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin Heating and Air Conditioning dealer.
With Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Callier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by our guy, Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. He's Chris Kerber. What's up, Kerbs?
Anthony, Marshy, how are you guys today?
We're doing good. So, Kerbs, probably not as good as you. Did I hear correctly you were at Belle Reve?
I did. Had a great day out there at Belle Reve today. It was an enjoyable day, hanging there with Roger Hacker and just watching all the different golfers. And once again, I'll tell you what, this city does an amazing job putting on a sporting event. I don't care I don't care whether it's basketball, wrestling, swimming, the ice skating, everything we've seen downtown, the Dome, the golf. It's just cool to see. And once again, just another great day. Everything was running smoothly from that I could tell. So really cool to see.
Yeah, it was impressive. What was it, 2017 now? Has it been 2017, 2018?
Yeah,
2018.
Yeah.
When the PGA Championship was here and to be out there, it was a great vibe. So and we'll get to some hockey, but Kerbs, what was your biggest takeaway? And it doesn't have to be specific to a golf or anything like that, but you are somebody that just enjoys sports overall. What was kind of the thing that you took away the most being at Belle Reve?
Listen, it's still it's amazing to me, and no matter what sport you play, maybe you're playing in a softball league right now, maybe you're a golfer, whatever, but then you go see people that are the best of the best at their game, and it's just awe-inspiring, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, to watch these guys crank it. Rory McIlroy, I think was the fourth or fifth group off this morning, got done with his round, and when I was walking out, just about 45 minutes ago, he was just leaving the driving range, working even more. And so, the work that they put in, the skill level is just awesome. And that's one of the takeaways. The other takeaway is, listen, for any moms, girlfriends, anybody out there, holy hell, do we have to get some golf joke books for the dads? I was there probably about 30 minutes and heard all the one-liners from the crowd, and I'm like, man, we need some new golf jokes. Like without a doubt, or we need people that realize that some of those jokes just aren't quite as funny if you're not playing. Nonetheless, I think it was it was a lot of fun. There's nothing quite like standing in a gallery watching a golfer, right? A pro golfer, right? The hole just lips, and you're standing there, and there's some guy that can barely break nine. He goes, "Oh man, he pushed it." I'm like, really, really? All right, good for you. So. That was fun. I'm a people watcher too, guys. So I get a kick out of things like that.
It does remind me real quick, going back to what you said about just kind of being awestruck by professional athletes. I remember going to when I was doing radio in Detroit, one of the first, I think it was training camps or practices I went to with the Lions, and just watching some of the special teamers. So it was the kickers and the punters, just how athletic they were. It's you just think, kickers and punters, no big deal. But they were doing things with the ball, whether they were throwing or kicking it, that I just remember holy smokes. I think the kicker was hitting, the kicker and the punter were trying to hit certain spots on the fields and testing each other. It was just absolutely remarkable what they could do.
Well, what's even more amazing is when you'll talk to some of those athletes, right? And they're good. They're great. They're the best of the best in the league that they're playing in, right? And then you talk to them about the stars in the league that they're playing in. and you realize that those guys go, yeah, listen, I'm a good hockey player. I'm not even close to what that guy is, right? And these next levels up. And I have such an appreciation for what it takes to do it, because as much as fans and media, and we like to break things down, right, and go, oh, he's got to do this. Like I'm watching that City game the other night, right? And Singben, like he's got to score on that break where he puts it off the post, right? But in soccer, you've got to score that. The 2-1 win was on his foot, and instead it's a 1-1 horrible draw with Kansas City, right? At the same time, right, we do that, and we think that, but to know the work and everything that they put in, right? You know, and how many times, like, a fan will just critique a player, and they're like, yeah, okay, you won't exercise 4 days in a row, and yet you're going to critique a professional athlete here, right? So
guilty.
Yeah, sure, we all are. But that's the fun of sports. My point is that we even get to just talk to the athletes about how good even the best at their game is, that are better than, like, it really is next level. So to get a chance to get out there and, you know, watch Rory McIlroy hit for a few holes, and Scott, Justin Rose, and Justin Thomas, and all these greats, like, it is pretty cool to see live. And my God, can they smoke that ball? Holy moly.
Curbs, Anthony brought up football. A few weeks ago, we had a discussion surrounding the biggest mystery team in the NFL. And I'm wondering, as it pertains to the Blues, would you consider them, as we look towards the NHL season, to be somewhat of a mystery where you don't really know if they'll be great or if there'll be a bottom team in the league? Where do you find the Blues heading into this season with a new look roster?
I think that's actually a very fair question. And I think you could definitely say that they are a mystery team from the standpoint of they are a team that feels and appears poised and ready to take the next step. The question is do they have enough mature pieces to take the next step? You know, I go into every season, and I think if a team has more, I'd say, than 3 question marks, then you have a chance to really struggle, right? Like if you've got 3 big question marks that are keys to success, right? Then you've got to, for example, if you're going, well, we don't know how the goaltending is going to play out, okay? That's a big problem, all right? And so it gets back to that phrase we like to say, the high on hopium, right? You know, well, I hope this goes. And if you've got more than 3 things in my book where I hope this comes through, which means that's how you have success, right? Then I think it's fair to put you in that mystery category. So, you know, for example here, you know, can Dylan Holloway stay healthy to have the impact that he can have? You know, that's going to be critical. To Jimmy Snuggerud, get a season in the way he started it, and now his sophomore season, it's going to be hard. In a top 6 role, that's going to be key, right? The opening in a top 6 role that Jordan Kyrou left in that trade. Okay, how does McTavish fit in? Does he have a rebound year from not a very good year last year? Okay, now we're looking at the additions defensively in Brandon Carlo, and what about Mayu and the role that he had last year when you know you weren't going anywhere? Now you start to see, like, you start to realize that they're probably in that 6 or 7 big question range, right? And those answers may be positive, okay, but until you lessen that to 3 or less, then I think you are a team that has a lot to prove and can fit that mystery category.
Chris Kerber joining us right now in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Curbs, I don't know if you checked out the Athletic article about the fans and the public perception when it comes to the front office and how confident the fan base is in the front office. And the Blues, after ranking 10th last year, ranked 14th. And I'll just read you one comment here. The main headline from the summer was the acquisitions of Mason McTavish and Connor McMichael. How they fare will likely dictate where Steen and company grade out next season. I thought that was pretty fair, given those were the 2 big headliners. Would you fall into the same camp, or do you think that they'll be judged in different ways?
Well, no, I think that'll be part of the judgment process, but I really do believe that the biggest, maybe the biggest impact move that they made, you know, now McTavish comes in, scores 70, 75 points, you know, that'll be there. But from a how to play winning hockey, from a what do you need to do to get to change kind of the DNA of this team a little bit, to me, it was the Ross Johnson signing, you know, and again, that's like you just said, that's an attitude changing signing for me. And it's an attitude changing that this team desperately, desperately needed, especially with younger players. Somebody that can go out there, get their wires crossed a little bit, look at somebody cross-eyed and make somebody go, uh-oh, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need that out there, and that's non-existent. When they had to rely on Braden Shen to lead the way on this constantly, right? And there were just not enough other people, especially in the bottom six, picking the slack up and following that lead. To me, that was a problem. So I think I have, and yes, I'm biased, being having been with this organization for so long, right? But I would rank them higher than 14th. But yeah, those offseason moves are going to make it. To me, I guess the key is this: how do they start the season, and what do the special teams look like in the first 15 to 20 games of the year, right? So those are the two keys, okay? If you start the season poor for a third straight year and chase the season, that's going to be a problem. And then if your special teams just aren't helping you out, which they haven't the last few years, that's going to be a problem. Those two things literally can take a load off the rest of the team there. So I don't know that I would. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know that I look at, say, one or two just key offseason moves as whether or not you have faith in this front office. I look at certain other things to it, and I really do believe that them going out and on the first day of free agency, right? And people are looking at all the big names, and the Blues signed some guy named Ross Johnson to a 3-year deal at $2 million per. Probably paid him a little bit more, than maybe some other teams are willing to, but they did it because they recognized a real need with this team. That gave me all the confidence I needed to know that they're doing things and looking at things, in my opinion, the right way.
Well said. Kerbs, we'll let you go. We know you've had a long day. We appreciate you stopping in. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, I'm exhausted watching guys drive the ball 400 yards.
You're out in the heat, Takes a lot out of a guy.
Yeah, have an awesome weekend, fellas, and we'll talk to you next week.
Same to you. Thanks, Kerbs. We'll see you.
Yeah.
That's Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Marsh, I was reading an ESPN article today, and it's centered on Bo Perbula, the former Mizzou quarterback, and it got me thinking, is the college football portal, the landscape for quarterbacks, has it changed? Dive into that next on 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN has your chance to win a free 4-pack of tickets to this year's Blues and Brews on Friday evening, September 18th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for the Blues season at this outdoor street party featuring live music from the Bobby Ford Band and Matt Jordan, plus appearances by Blues players, food trucks, on-stage festivities, and more. Tickets are on sale now for Blues and Brews, presented by Michelob Ultra, 101 ESPN, and Scott Lee Heating Company. Find all the details and your shot to score free tickets right now at 101ESPN.com. Or the 101 ESPN mobile app. Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter, and Bradford Bruns. Bradford is going to be in for the final hour plus of the show. Appreciate you, Bradford. Jamie's off today. Kerry had to go, and I got baseball to coach. So, Bradford, you're going to pinch hit for the last hour.
Buddy, it is free-for-all Friday. I get it. I've been there. I understand. Let's get to it.
Appreciate you, man. So, and you're perfect to chat with because you followed Bo Perbula's tenure, certainly at Mizzou, and also coming from Penn State. And I found an article at ESPN.com that talked about how 34 Power 4 programs were simultaneously looking for starting quarterbacks during a 2-week transfer window. Schools are reportedly paying $3 million or more for proven starters. So this story specifically followed Bo Perbula, who started 10 games at Mizzou last season, and thought his portal experience would be pretty simple. Make one visit to Blacksburg, Virginia, where Virginia Tech is located, reunite with his former head coach, former Penn State head coach James Franklin.
You don't say.
And get a deal done.
Yeah.
Instead, he spent 8 days traveling, made 6 visits, and covered more than 6,000 miles. And here's the crazy part. He was actually at Virginia Tech when he found out Virginia Tech had already committed to another quarterback. And it was one of Franklin's other QBs at Penn State, Ethan Grunkenmeyer. So they're there, him and his agent, Bo Perbula and his agent were in Blacksburg. They're in the hotel. Agent got a call saying, hey, they've already committed to Grunkenmeyer. And the agent's like, what do you mean we're here? Like, no, you're done here. So Bo Perbula thought that he was going to have a deal done. Instead, he now makes all these trips to figure out where he's going to go, while other QBs are also signing deals around the nation. He wound up at Virginia. He seems pretty happy about it. He's going to be a Cavalier. He's going to start. No big deal. But his former OC and former head coach both wound up at Va Tech. And instead of going with him, they went with the younger guy, potentially locking him in, hopefully for the foreseeable future, and left him for momentarily without a chair.
Well, at least he didn't go to a different program where the starting quarterback decided to come back.
You must be talking about Oregon.
Correct.
And former Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola.
Little Patrick Mahomes Jr.?
Yes. So after intimidating Patrick Mahomes for, 2 years at Nebraska?
Yes.
He goes, I'm out of here. I could do better. I'm going to Oregon. Dante Moore decides not to go to the NFL draft. He goes back to Oregon, and now Dylan Raiola is going to be the backup there.
He should have went to Texas Tech.
He probably should have went to Texas Tech. My question to you guys, big picture, has the landscape for at least quarterbacks shifted for portal quarterbacks? Because it's we view it as, hey, big money. You'll go, you'll land a gig, you're good. You're not going to be the starter anymore. No problem. Go to the portal. Plenty of spots. And that's true to some degree. But not all these QBs are being wooed like Mensa, for example, going from Duke to Miami.
Exactly.
You've got the Bo Perbulas, you've got even the Dylan Raiolas, who may find themselves kind of in a spot where, God forbid, they have to interview essentially for a starting gig, as opposed to just getting a bunch of money thrown at their faces and saying, hey, you're going to be the next great thing for us. So has the landscape changed?
I do think for the quarterback position, it has certainly been altered. I don't want to say immeasurably, but going back to the numbers, Stults, that you put out there for us, we're not even talking about the upper echelon guys, the likes of Adarian Mensah, for example, getting in that neighborhood of $5 million. Rather, if you are a Power 4 quarterback, essentially, and you're a competent one at that, you can basically barter, you can basically negotiate a reason for something in that range of $2 to $3 million. And it does beg the question, even if you think that the grass is going to be greener, you have committed to entering that portal as Bo Pribula did. And you think, all right, I have some long-standing connections. I have some connections, what with obviously involving James Franklin from back in the day, Happy Valley. By all accounts, he left that particular location under good circumstances, right? Good terms. So you would think in good faith, all right, I've got something rolling here. And in 2026, the fact of the matter, guys, is that you cannot bank whatsoever on loyalty. You can't bank on any degree of certainty because you're going in there with the expectation that, yeah, this is akin to a job interview. But if somebody else, if a different group, if a different cast of characters, everybody's being eyed almost simultaneously, and you can strike a deal with a comparable talent as Vatek did with a Grunkmeyer, potentially for a slightly lesser amount of money, you still only have so much to go around. And so, in a sense, you also have to weigh the potential ramifications and consequences, I think, of not necessarily pricing yourself out of the market, but maybe pricing yourself out of the destination you would aspire to attend in the first place.
Right. I think it's a situation now where it's like, hey, you better have a couple of, it's like when you were in high school and you're like, well, I've got my number one choice of where I want to go. And well, what if you don't get in? You know, what's the next step? Do you look good enough on paper to attract another school? And that is what I think some of these QBs are starting to find now as they hit the transfer portal. It's not just I can go wherever I want now. And granted, again, Darian Mensah probably could have had his choice of suitors, right? But for the majority of the quarterbacks that maybe started a year ago at a Power 4 conference, good luck trying to find a top team now.
Yeah, and especially if you had a second half, Marshy, along the lines of what Bo Pribula, and he is the subject of this in-depth piece, obviously, on ESPN.com, along the lines of what he experienced down the stretch for Mizzou last season. Okay, got off to a blazing start, albeit against lesser competition, let's be honest. Now, injury struck. Certainly you could point to a number of different issues with respect to the Tigers' offense. We'll see if it goes in a different direction now with a new OC, Chip Lindsey, and a new quarterback in Austin Simmons. But it is a delicate dance. It's really a delicate needle to thread because it's not as if he finished 2025 on this grandiose note, but he determined, okay, the best personal mission here, objective for me, going on a new journey. And he thought, all right, I have a destination there. It just became much more complicated. And I definitely think he's not the exception to the rule. You're going to see more and more of these cases unless, again, you are basically that Fabergé egg, like a Mensah, et cetera.
This whole situation sort of reminds me of the bridge quarterback in the NFL, where you just mentioned Virginia Tech and how they go with the younger guy. Well, maybe they want to build around him. Whereas some of these other programs, they have a guy that they're looking at, but maybe he's not ready. So let's just bring in sort of a mercenary quarterback who has bounced around a few times. We'll bring him in. We're not necessarily going to build our program around him, but he can be a solid bridge quarterback, and then we can move on to the next guy.
Sure.
I feel like that is ultimately what's going to happen now in college football. We're going to get those Andy Daltons of the world.
Yeah.
And we're going to get the Tuas.
Yeah, the fillers.
We're going to get the fillers now in college football until that next guy comes.
Right. We could do better, but not right now. So we'll just do this. And I think that's a lot of what college football is going to do. You're right, Marsh. It's like the NFL. We don't have a better option right now, so we're going to go with this bridge quarterback until we find a better spot.
And interestingly enough, I don't know if Austin Simmons qualifies as that exact label under that exact category of bridge quarterback. But MU, here's the thing. When you think about Stoltz, the boom or bust tendencies, right, about which we have heard, and the incredible arm talent, the physical tools, well, he could, in a sense, be a bridge quarterback if he takes off, if he ascends, if he's ready for the NFL next April. Guess what? You still have your developmental guy in-house in a Matt Solders.
That's what you're hoping for.
It could play out.
Right.
Hey.
You know what's kind of interesting as we wrap up? Mizzou is looking at it as you could catch lightning in a bottle with an extremely talented QB that was the starter at Ole Miss before he got hurt and replaced by Trinidad Chambliss, who was great. So the upsides are, if you're Virginia, you're like, hey, we've got a guy that started 10 games at at an SEC program last year and did okay, did fine. So you kind of feel like you're upgrading at both spots.
And they were right there. They were right there last year.
Virginia was.
Yeah. For
You
the college
played.
football playoff.
You played for the ACC title. You won 11 games. I think that was a record under Tony Elliott. So, you keep the line moving. You keep the offense moving.
And you weren't expected to get them either.
Nope.
Because that should have been a slam dunk going to Vautech. All right, Bradford and Marshy got you covered for the next hour with the biggest question of the day being the first. I'll see everybody back here on Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Here's one of those things around the house that's easy to overlook until it becomes a big problem. Your garage door. That's why I love going with Don's Garage Door, the team that came out to my house about a month and a half ago, and they did such a great job. You know, here's the thing with the garage door. You use it every day. You don't think about it much until it starts making strange noises. Maybe it gets slow or suddenly it won't open. If you hear, that big spring breaking, you'll know it, and you'll know that you're in some trouble because that garage door thing that you just kind of take for granted that's going to go up and down every day, it won't. So here's my advice. Don't wait for a breakdown. Your garage door should not be talking to you. If you're hearing squeaking, grinding, shaking, or anything unusual, have it checked out. And that's why, again, I highly recommend going with Don's Garage Doors. They're a local St. Louis company. Technicians who live and work right here. They're all about honest service, quality work, and neighbors helping neighbors. Their philosophy is one I love, and it's pretty simple. Show up, do it right, stand behind it. Right now, Don's is offering a complete garage door tune-up for just $29.95. So for less than $30, it's a simple way to stay ahead of problems and potentially avoid a costly repair later. And if you're thinking about a new garage door, you could save $500 on a new insulated door with 0 payments for 12 months. Fast financing approvals, and no surprise fees. So take a few minutes now to make sure your garage door is ready to do its job and to continue to keep doing its job. Go to donsgaragedoors.com or call 866-4-DONS-DOOR today.
time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy Siding.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane. Andrew Marsh alongside Bradford Bruns for this final hour here in the Fast Lane. Your time check is 5:06. Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Bradford, it's time for the biggest question of the day. And the big news today is that Andre Palante is going to the IL with elbow inflammation. No structural damage. The team expects a minimum stay. That was according to Derek Gould about an hour and a half ago, give or take. Quinn Matthews joins the rotation. He'll start tomorrow. Kyle Leahy will start Sunday. Ryan Fernandez, he'll head to the bullpen, available at ballpark by game time. The one thing I want to focus on, Bradford, is that Kyle Leahy will start Sunday.
Yes.
Interesting enough, earlier this morning, Jeff Jones noted of what happened last night at Memphis. We saw a positional player pitching in a one-run ball game, and the Cardinals bullpen is, in my opinion, getting tired. I think
tatters.
Let's
be frank.
We're seeing that right now. Jeff Jones noted, though, one thing happening in the background, Kyle Leahy's innings are about to be significantly curtailed, perhaps as soon as this weekend. At last check, there were no plans to shut him down, but it may be piggybacks with Matthews, may be a straight bullpen move. Once again, this was posted on X around 6:30 this morning. News has now changed with Andre Palante getting injured. For me, this is a difficult situation for the Cardinals because on one hand, you're trying to limit the innings for Kyle Leahy.
Right.
But now there's a massive curveball that's just been thrown. How do you balance looking towards the future, trying to limit those innings for Kyle Leahy, but also want to make a playoff push? Because now one of your most consistent starters in Andre Palante is not pitching for you, at least in the next couple of days, weeks, who knows?
Well, that is the absolute key, because the hardest thing about this is trying to achieve or strike that balance, still trying to prioritize, obviously, the future, Marshy, because in the here and now, over the course of the next 15 days, frankly, if that is the number for Palante, color me a little skeptical as to the minimum stay there on the IL. But in any event, pun intended, your staff collectively is in a world of hurt, because the foremost objective for me over the course of the next couple of weeks, and it was going to hurt to have to lose Kyle Leahy in a sense, whether you're talking about outright from your rotation or just severely scaling back his innings. The realization, the recognition was there, okay? We've seen in each of the past 3 starts, he has been dynamic once again, and yet he hasn't eclipsed 5 innings. You knew this was going to be inevitable, and now it stands to reason that you're at least going to have to push him a little more than you would have liked, than you would have anticipated for the period of the next 15 or so days. It sets up a really intriguing matchup for him on Sunday, that finale versus Christopher Sanchez, if I'm not mistaken, there at Citizens Bank Park. But in the here and now, you think about the way in which this team just has to basically try to cobble it together to get through the next few series, because Quinn Matthews, we had talked about it earlier today on BK and Ferrario, when your pitching situation was completely different before it had been turned all the way on its head. And you thought, okay, he's going to get that Sunday matchup. Good deal against really a lefty-heavy lineup in Philadelphia. Well, he has to go front and center tomorrow. So how exactly do you make it through? You only have so many guys. I think this is important, Marshy, to note that you can actually send on that Memphis shuttle now back and forth. Now, after this series is over, do you run the risk of or contemplate the idea of maybe DFAing some guys outright? I like the idea when you extend it now to the bullpen, for that matter, to Ryan Fernandez. We know the control has been shaky of late. That is not exactly a new symptom of his, right? But in terms of trying to fortify that bullpen even further, you have to be able to lean on somebody else, given what we saw, especially in that Cincinnati series. And I feared, quite honestly, when you didn't have this surplus, Marshy, of high leverage arms, especially after you jettisoned JoJo Romero, right? He was going to be dealt at the deadline all along. You can only ride the likes of Ryan Stanek. You can only ride the likes of a George Soriano, the latter of whom has been fantastic all season. But you knew at some point fatigue, attrition, all of that would come into play. So now this goes from, at present, trying to figure out a way to keep your head above water in the Philadelphia series to trying to, I guess, salvage a game at this juncture, because you don't want to forecast doom and gloom, but it is a bit of a downer when you think about how just yesterday, roughly 24 hours ago, you finished that Cincinnati series and you were basically wondering, is this it? Before climbing off of the mat. And now this is really sobering because it does change the way in which obviously Ollie Marmol has to manage, has to get through the next couple of days, and then you reset by the time you have to come back home for Baltimore.
I do find it fascinating because, and I'm guilty of this, but there's so many fans who criticize Ollie Marmol for his decision making. But when you look at who he has pitching, I don't know what he can do. There's just so many layers to the decision-making for Ollie Marmol down this stretch. He will absolutely be tested this weekend and the coming series.
For sure.
It'll be nice that they have a day off on Monday. They've been playing a lot of baseball. But this is a moment where you see Ollie really manage because of all the different factors that play in with not only the starters, but the bullpen as well.
Yeah, suffice it to say, next time around, if you encounter a similar situation with Michael McGreevy, he's not coming out the sixth inning. You don't have anything like that, basically, because right now you are down to a guy, maybe two, in terms of being at the front of your rotation, in terms of really being somebody on whom you can rely. And so, yeah, it changes, again, the complexion of the series coming up. But if you had to forecast what the rest of this season will entail for Kyle Leahy, let's bring it back to Leahy, okay? Because I am hard-pressed personally to really identify anybody else in the National League, maybe an exception or two, who frankly has been flat-out better, superior to Kyle Leahy since the All-Star break, and really maybe even a little bit before that as well, because you're finally seeing that full arsenal, the full repertoire of pitches we had heard so much about coming into spring training. That was the whole reason as to why this organization was optimistic about him having some modicum of success as a starter before the next wave of prospects, right? So let's just say here, let's take it on the surface, let's take it at face value and say that Palante is sidelined for 2 to 3 starts. Well, that definitely takes you into September. How far into that month remains to be seen. Do you envision any type of a piggyback scenario with Leahy as of yet? But maybe the better question is, who's going to be the guy in that capacity? Because you're going to have to start Quinn Matthews, period, full stop.
I have no idea what they're going to do, but for whatever reason, this team has somehow, despite whatever our expectations were heading into the year, they have somehow figured it out. I wouldn't even be shocked if they won this series, despite all of these different things that are happening right now with the pitching, despite them blowing games in the series against the Reds.
Yeah.
They easily could have lost that series. They easily could have won all 5 games. I would not be shocked if they beat the Phillies in this series and just made things that much more interesting, because they've been doing it all year. They've taken our expectations and they've thrown them out the window. That's what they've done. That's what this team has done. That's why they're exciting. And that's why I choose to ride the roller coaster all year. Even now, even when Palante is injured, even when Leahy, there's rumblings about him, having an innings limit and them shutting them down, or maybe not shut them down, but throw them to the bullpen or have the piggyback.
Yeah.
It sounds like an absolute nightmare to deal with as a manager. And for whatever reason, I feel like they'll figure it out and they'll at least be close midway through September.
And in the interim, I think it is important to note as well, to point out that somebody who even 48 or so hours ago maybe was viewed his spot, his standing in the rotation as more of a luxury, or okay, we want to see what we can get out of him moving into 2027, moving into next spring and into the summer, now becomes an absolute necessity. I'm talking about tonight's starter in Hunter Dobbins, okay? And when you think about the body of work that he has compiled so far this season, Marshy, I have to say, without having had a ton of prior knowledge, without really having been able to account for what he had done at Memphis, the prospect pedigree coming in, if you're telling me that, let's say at the end of September this year, because now it would appear by all accounts, you're going to get upwards of 14, 15 overall appearances from a Hunter Dobbins, probably around 10 to 11 starts. Yeah, walks have been an issue. Control definitely has represented an issue, but frankly, I have been pleasantly surprised by what you have seen from him so far this year as well. 26 years old, so while he may not fit into or under that umbrella of the likes of a Liam Doyle, obviously, a Tanner Franklin, this is maybe that second rung prospect now in whom you can also have a lot of confidence, and you're going to be turning to him and saying, take this baton not only tonight, but you're a surefire option for us for the remainder of the season, because we're going to be uber cautious with Kyle Leahy, probably with Quinn Matthews too. Now, Hunter Dobbins isn't going to be blown out, so to speak, but now all of a sudden you need desperately so innings from him, and quality innings at that. Good luck first test tonight. Hey, welcome to Philadelphia, where the Phillies are red hot.
Well, we'll see how Hunter Dobbins does tonight. He is on the mound for the Cardinals. They take on the Phillies, 5:40 first pitch. We know the Cardinals are in a huge wild card race right now. Some are calling this the biggest series of the season. We'll see how the Cardinals fare against the Philadelphia Phillies. But speaking of the Cardinals and this wild card race, what will be the biggest factor for the Cards down the stretch in order to secure a wild card berth? Who or what will be the biggest factor? Bradford and I will discuss it next right here in the Fast Lane. Louis Cardinals currently sit 2.5 games out of that final wild card spot. They take on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. They are 2.5 behind the San Diego Padres. Alongside Bradford Bruns, I'm Andrew Marsh, and we are talking Cardinals baseball the rest of the way. Bradford, speaking of the wild card, what will be the biggest factor for the Cardinals, whether they make the wild card, whether they don't? This one, it's got plenty of branches, of course. You can take it in any direction you want, offensively, defensively, starting rotation, bullpen, managing. What will be the biggest factor for the Cardinals if they are going to win that third wild card?
Well, certainly Ali Marmol has no shortage of gymnastics to perform, as we outlined in the last segment, right? And we spent, Marshy, so much time, I think, dissecting the pitching end of things and talking about, okay, in the absence now temporarily, in case individuals out there missed it, Andre Palante to be sidelined, elbow inflammation for a minimum of 15 days, 15-day IL. Kyle Leahy, will those innings be scaled back? That seems inevitable. But I want to take it to the offensive side of things, because not to proclaim this or designate this offense as more of that feast or famine variety, but you saw so many great signs, as per usual, really, on the road. This is where, in particular, the offense has had tremendous strides as far as yanking the ball out of the park and some of the showmanship, basically, that we witnessed there in Cincinnati. And for me, at this point in the season, Marsha, you're talking about August the 21st, the top half of that order, whatever you get moving forward from a Joshua Baez is gravy, okay? I'm not going to pile on the fact that he hasn't been able to, for an encore, replicate anything that we saw in that opener against Chicago, okay? Because you have your linchpins. If J.J. Weatherholt is able to ramp it up in the average department again, if he is able to accompany Jordan Walker and Alec Burleson, each of whom had a tremendous series there versus Cincinnati. Now, I know it's a lefty on the mound tonight. I would still like to see Burley in there, continue to get him those reps and continue to really get him those shots at Citizens Bank. But for me, it's a question of who's going to be that unexpected contributor, that X factor in the lower half of your order, right? So not Joshua Baez, but rather a Mason Wynn.
And we saw that the other day.
Exactly, which is interesting now in light of the fact that tonight we know Mason Wynn absent from the lineup. Hopefully it's a temporary absence in that regard, but somebody else, for you to be going toe-to-toe, whether it's this weekend series versus Philadelphia, next week you come back home temporarily, you get Baltimore. You have a couple of teams that you can manage, certainly, then Pittsburgh as well on the schedule. But who else is going to be able to step up and keep lengthening that order, okay? Is it a Nathan Church? Is it a Mason Wynn when he's able to return to the lineup? That is a question that I continue to find myself pondering, because that's been the biggest thing holding me back from totally buying in collectively on this Cardinals lineup, really for a couple of months. I'm waiting for that other individual to step up. I think for a while we had hoped, we had banked on maybe Jimmy Crooks being able to carry over that momentum from Memphis. We have seen now how that has worked out. We have seen how the playing time has greatly diminished too. So I need to see who else is ready to grab that baton and help lead this offense, because Walker and Burley can't do it for you every single night.
I wonder if it'll be a sort of a collection of those players. We know that Fermin has come up in big spots. Even Torres the other night, when he caught up to the fastball, slapped it to the left side. Nathan Church has had a few of those as well. So I wonder if it's one of those things where it's not one particular guy, but in those key situations, can they step up and do that? Those guys lower in the lineup. Blaze Jordan, for whatever reason, he just can, I don't know how he hits so many triples, but can he start hitting the ball over the fence?
Yeah, let's focus on Blaze at the plate. Please.
Yes.
Please, at the plate only. I will table anything and everything else on the defensive side.
Yeah, that kind of reared its ugly head in Cincinnati. But if he can start swinging the bat and start giving you some pop, that is one guy that I think could be that X factor down the stretch.
I agree with you.
That's who he was in Memphis.
He certainly was. And I also don't want to fixate too much on the defense or even the defensive shortcomings we saw a couple of days ago, right? A couple of nights ago, because when you really break it down and you take the long view of this team all season in 2026, all right, there are still some base running issues to clean up. You've had some gaffes on the defensive side, but correct me if I'm wrong. How do you feel about this? I think that your exact configuration, your main guys, your defensive outfit overall. That's not a question mark for me going down the stretch, because on the majority of nights, you're going to see a clean brand on that side. When you saw, for instance, a couple of days ago, when you had that confusion, right, between pitcher and first baseman, that's not something that you see from an Alec Burleson, right?
No, not at all.
Even Mason Wynn has had some uncustomary plays in the field from time to time, but I don't worry about that component.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was raining that night as well.
It was slippery, right?
I'm not trying to say, hey, it's raining. Obviously the ball's slipping out, or you have a brain fart. It was raining.
It wasn't sunny gray slippery, but it was wet.
Right, exactly.
The unfortunate thing about this is, though, when you, let's just say, even pit the St. Louis lineup, the bottom half of that lineup, against the likes of your competition from Philadelphia, okay? And we could even extend this, broaden the wild card conversation. I don't know, frankly, if San Diego can keep it up to the degree that it has in recent weeks. I still think you have a lot of holes on that side as well. But when you get past number 4, number 5 in the order, okay, let's just look at it. Tonight, for example, you guys played the lineup game earlier. It was an illustrious one at that. Jose Fermin, I love what I've seen from him this year. I don't have doubts.
I don't either.
If he's in a tight spot, particularly against a lefty, hey, guess who tonight for Philly? Jesus Luzardo. Maybe he's nails yet again. I just need to see more from a Pereira, obviously. Brian Torres, as you had stated, has come up with a couple of critical hits. But look on the other side, okay? Because when you get beyond Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Arise, the usual suspects in Philadelphia, all right? A chief competitor here, not only this weekend, before that final wild card berth. Then you counter with a Stott, with a Marsh, worthy of damage, certainly capable of inflicting damage. And then the ghost,
that, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. And then the ghost, I will say, of JT Real Muto, still in the 8th spot for that order. That's a fear factor group at the bottom. San Diego can boast the same. You simply can't do it from this side in St. Louis. You can't. Maybe you continue to buck the odds, defy the odds.
Right.
But who's going to be that guy? Because once again, as well, you look behind the plate, and now it seems out of necessity, you're trending toward more of the Pedro Pajes appearances, because we don't yet see Leo Bernal. That's another subject.
That is another subject that I know you guys talked about earlier today in BK and Ferrario, and I personally, I'd like to see him.
Why not?
I mean, we saw what Joshua Baez did. I know his other games did not look like last Saturday. He's hitting the ball hard. He's still a young player. I think he'll figure it out. Maybe he'll figure it out tonight. Either way, though, the offense, with where the pitching is currently at, the offense does need to be that X factor down the stretch. That's no secret, but more so, can you lengthen that lineup a little bit? Can you get key hits? Maybe it starts tonight. It kind of has to if you want to stay in this race, because you're taking on a good Phillies team who's in a wild card spot. You're on the road, hostile environment. So it should be a fun series. I'm looking forward to this game starting up. They actually start in about 10 minutes. So we'll see how they fare in this first inning against Jesus Luzardo. Why don't we break this series down coming up next? We'll get into some questions regarding the Cardinals and the Phillies, and we'll see what happens at Citizens Bank Park. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Fast Lane right here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals take on the Phillies tonight, 5:40 first pitch. So we are about 6 minutes away until the Cardinals and Phillies get underway at Citizens Bank Park. One of the bigger topics today is that Andre Palante has been placed on the 15-day IL with right elbow inflammation, retroactive to August 18th. Ryan Fernandez has been recalled from Memphis. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews, including the one that we had today with Chris Kerber, and you'll find all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We're going to break down this Cardinals and Phillies series coming up next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows. Bradford Bruns and Andrew Marsh with you right here in the Fast Lane. Only about 20-ish minutes left to go in the show. Only 5 minutes until we get things going in Philly for the Cardinals and the Phillies. Bradford, like I said earlier, some are calling this the biggest series of the year. What is your opinion of where the Cardinals are at right now and how it pertains to the wild card race? Just your overall thoughts and what you need to see out of this series.
Clearly, you're just 2.5 games shy of that final third and final wild card spot in the National League now, thanks to that momentous outing yesterday in Cincinnati, Marshy. And yeah, as you said during the update, obviously, the situation has changed, to put it mildly, on the pitching end of things over just the last 50 minutes. But while I certainly liked the chances, I liked the opportunity, it would seem better, of being able to take this series outright or have a more representative effort with Andre Palante in tow, I think you match up tonight, quite frankly, as favorably as you can, given the way that one Hunter Dobbins has thrown as of late. Now, he hasn't given you the innings. We understand that. He's basically hovering in that 5+ range over the past 3 to 4. But with an ERA that's under 3, with an improved ranking, that is, in terms of walks surrendered, and that's going to be key for me tonight when you're talking about facing this paramount of a lineup. And we all know about the guys who inflict the most damage. To be in attack mode, yeah, basically from the beginning, kind of the reversal of what you did see, and we will see if he learned some lessons from a couple of weeks ago, essentially, against Philadelphia. He had the opener in that one on Monday night at Busch Stadium and definitely stayed away from Kyle Schwarber, stayed away from Bryce Harper in the early going. But before you knew it, he had worked himself into the 5th inning, and he had given his team an opportunity to, at minimum, compete. I think you're going to see that tonight, and you have to be able to get those innings. You have to be able to get that kind of workload, because the runs this evening from this offense, I think they're going to be much more difficult by which to come, because if you're thinking about that lefty in Jesus Luzardo, I could make the argument, Marshy, that since the All-Star break in particular, he has at least mirrored the production of the guy, the man who started for the National League in that game, in Christopher Sanchez. He's going out there, he's working, he's going 7+, and he definitely has that strikeout premium stuff to boot. It's a tough task. Can Dobbins match him at least somewhat?
Well, and in that last start, the Phillies didn't they didn't do all too much for Dobbins. I don't want to say he threw the game away, but
the unearned runs, no doubt.
Self-inflicted wounds for Dobbins in that one. Had some command issues as well. But what we've seen since then, I've really enjoyed. So if we can get that version of Hunter Dobbins, I think they have a shot tonight. Offensively, as we saw in Cincinnati, the Cardinals are pretty good when it comes to these top-level pitchers of getting the pitch count up.
It's weird,
and
right?
Getting those guys out of the game early. We've seen that not only in this past series, but throughout the year.
Now, there's also times when I'm sitting there on the couch as a fan and I'm wondering, why did you not swing at that first pitch fastball right down the middle? But by and large, this team has done a really good job at getting those really good starters out of games early. And I wonder if that is ultimately the key for this series, because the Phillies have good pitchers.
Yeah, and something tells me that you're going to have a better plan of attack under Branch Brown, this coaching staff as a whole, when it comes to tomorrow's second appearance against Painter, because think back to that Dobbins versus Painter matchup not even 2 full weeks ago. He absolutely stymied and stifled you, and it really continued that weird trend, that surreal pattern that we've seen from this organization, from this team for how many years, Marshy, of being able to get after the elite pitchers on the other side, but then more of the so-called also-rans have been problematic. Now, to be fair, Philadelphia's bullpen is in a better spot compared to what it was, on that Monday evening. But
I mean,
still,
they had you and me, or you and I, in the bullpen in that last series.
Yeah, and I've had the rotator cuff issues lately. I have, man, I can feel it. But yeah, duly noted.
So, by the way, the Cardinals are about to start here in a couple of seconds. I when I look around the league too, I think what's been so frustrating about at least this past week is how much ground you could have gained. And I really hope that they can stay in the mix. Just give at least one win this weekend, because I want them to stay in the mix. I don't want them to fall out. I mean, if you lose 3 games, you get swept here. San Diego has a good weekend. Your season's kind of over, don't you think?
Yeah, you have to survive it, okay? And survive means taking a game. You can't. You can ill afford losing 3 consecutive on the road. I understand. It is the end, the tail end, the very end of an incredibly arduous road trip. Arguably, you haven't had anything this tough all season. 11 games in a 10-day span. And then, by the same token, though, we know that Philadelphia is white hot at the moment. 6 consecutive wins overall. This team hasn't dropped a home affair since back on August the 8th. That was against Toronto. And then San Diego, too. Maybe we were out ahead of our skis with respect to basically just discarding the Padres earlier this season, right? Because there's still such an onslaught of talent out there on the West Coast. But things are tightening up. They have the potential to either stay the same or tighten that much more. To wit, Marshy, you know that Philadelphia, and we knew this would be inevitable for this team. You don't have this much talent. You don't have this many proven winners and champions on your roster and not make a real run at it down the stretch. And to that end, Philly, absolutely torrid pace of late. 8 wins in the last 10 games, 6 in a row, as I stated. Now your percentage chances of making the postseason all the way up above 90, but you find yourself with today's loss, and this just went final a few minutes ago. Atlanta dropped another one. Oh, to guess who? NL Central leading Milwaukee 2-1, tight affair there in Milwaukee. And all of a sudden, don't look now, but I'm telling you, that National League East, to broaden the picture just a little bit more here, it's within reach. Atlanta had an opportunity a couple of months ago to run away and hide from Philadelphia. And now you're still playing decent baseball. You're at 75-53 if you're Atlanta, but you have just a 5-game lead in that division. That is very manageable, I think, to make up, as is if you're looking at the National League Central. And Milwaukee kind of hovering at that 500 mark over the past 10. Chicago, likewise, 5 games out. I can't shake the feeling that you will see a couple of charges here. You still have a month plus left. Both of those divisions could very well be up for grabs.
And speaking of a charge, though, perhaps the Cardinals have one in them. They've been winning series. They've actually played really well against some of the upper echelon teams in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason have not taken care of some of the worst teams in baseball. I feel like that's been a trend over the last few years. It's just weird how this team has sort of operated, but maybe they come out with a series win. We would love a sweep. I hate losing. I know this team hates losing, but it all starts tonight, and if you can get the first one, I feel like you feel pretty good the rest of the weekend. So we'll see what happens. Again, Hunter Dobbins on the mound tonight for the Cardinals, and they just got underway in the top of the first at Citizens Bank Park. With Bradford Bruns, I'm Andrew Marsh. We will do criticisms and compliments coming up next. We'll wrap up the show, and we'll also get to some 3 stars of the day. So don't go anywhere. You're right here in the Fast Lane. missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Bradford, your Cardinals are up 2-0. Joshua Baez went deep.
That cleanup hitter extraordinaire.
Oh, man, that looked like it almost looked like the same exact pitch that Matthew Boyd threw when he hit his first home run.
Yeah.
But he went Oppo Taco, which mimicked his third home run against Matthew Boyd at Wrigley Field last Saturday. Alec Boehm, not a Gold Glove winner at all.
No.
With an absolute horrid throw to first base. Jordan Walker takes second, 2 outs. The inning could have been over right there.
Yep.
Joshua Baez, first pitch swinging, takes him deep. Cardinals up 2-0.
You know what? You have to love that uber aggressive approach. That is exactly what we saw in the Major League debut from one Joshua Baez. Luzardo leaving it up, Baez touching seats. If I may say so, you had another vision, my friend.
Whoa.
You had that vision.
It wasn't on air, though, so it doesn't count.
Unofficially.
He is, and I said this last week, even though he has been struggling, not so much anymore, he hit the home run, but I find myself stopping what I'm doing and watching every at-bat that he takes.
He's appointment TV.
100%. Again, I know that he had been struggling since Saturday. You know, he mixed in a hit, had a few walks and whatnot. He's been hitting the ball hard. I don't care. I want to watch this guy swing the bat. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And he's just another element to this lineup that makes this team so much fun down the stretch.
I get it. I understand that he's hitting just 160. I understand that was just his second hit since August 15th. I don't care because he has not looked, at least in my estimation, Marshy, grossly overmatched whatsoever. Has he been tricked? Have you been able to solve him a number of times? Yes, that's going to come with the territory because also, lest we forget, this is somebody who, even throughout his minor league tenure, when he was smashing dingers and swiping bags, we should mention as well, looking forward to that component of his game too, the strikeouts were always there. And when you have a frame along the lines of a Joshua Baez, a Jordan Walker, it's going to come with the territory. Not an apologist, that's just reality. But yeah, you pause, you stop what you're doing because you know at any given moment, this guy could absolutely leave the yard.
Been so much fun. Why don't we do criticisms and compliments?
Criticisms and compliments. Presented by Bet365. With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything.
All right, let's go to Curb Stomp. Today's show as a whole. Worst lineup game ever has been a suspension banger. What I learned today is that the two pros are Marshy and Bradford. Have an outstanding weekend, gentlemen. Hashtag shout out to the Snake Pits.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much.
How are you with compliments? I am so weird when somebody gives me a compliment.
Oh, boy. You know what? I will take any sort of compliment, especially with all due respect, that doesn't relate to the vocabulary because it feels played out by now. I don't say that as a referendum. There I go again. No, the less I say on that subject, the more. But yeah, it can be a little weird, right? A little off-putting. But hey, if we accept these compliments as, you know, collaborative kudos and things, I like that. Let's do that.
All right. Jeffrey from Oregon says, good show. Great last hour. We appreciate it, Jeffrey. Chester, Marsh's college program, says you carried the day. Talking about me. Bradford fills in today. It's officially double digits, 10-day heater.
Boom.
We love that. We love that. All right, let's go to our 3 stars before we wrap up the show and head into the weekend.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Gooey, who is giving us some constructive criticism. Gooey said he was leaving the show. He said, I'm not listening anymore. But if you are listening, Gooey, if you lied to us, you're a 3rd star today. Congratulations, Gooey.
Marshy, I'm not familiar with Gooey. I'm not. I'm really not.
Gooey was criticizing our soccer talk and our knowledge on the Cardinals pitching staff.
Soccer talk from yesterday? That was awesome.
No, today. We talked some soccer today.
Sorry, missed that one. I've been a little all over the place, yeah.
We did. We talked some soccer today. Talked about the pitching, of course, with the Cardinals, and Gooey wasn't having it. So we told Gooey, hey, Gooey, you don't have to listen to our show.
Mm-hmm.
And Gooey said, you're absolutely right, and then left. Allegedly.
His own mic drop of sorts?
Maybe.
Okay.
Who knows?
Just don't send an email, okay? There's one.
Oh, we like the
one
emails.
message. No, there's one particular message that is going to withstand the test of time. I think, specifically for Staltz. We know that one.
Second star of the day goes out to the pregnant pause. That's what Anthony said. I like to pause when I talk. I have no idea what that means. I feel like you'd be the perfect person to describe what a pregnant pause is. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I love those, Marshy. I don't do it I don't practice the pregnant pause very often.
Why is it called that?
Well, it's a belated pause, right? For dramatic effect. And so basically it is a fine line, though, okay? You have to know exactly for how long to thread that needle because you want it to build suspense. You want to build drama, but what is the cutoff point? Is it perhaps 9 seconds? I wouldn't say that.
That's a long
radio
time.
terms,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
bad. That's
give
bad.
it a couple, let it breathe, let the people get suspense.
Bradford, you are our first star of the day. Thank you for pinch hitting today.
Hey, it's my pleasure,
We
buddy.
appreciate it. I know you did double duty today with BK and Ferrario, and you are going to do the instant replay as well. So
Yes.
I guess you could call it triple duty today. It's been a long day for you, but thank you for stepping in today and pinch hitting for not only Carey, not only Jamie, but when Anthony had to leave as well. You came in, we talked some Cardinals baseball. You, my friend, are the first star of the day.
My friend, I appreciate that very much. And something unique about today here on this Friday of the Fast Lane, the two of us, we've been able to have some sporadic encounters right in the same room. You've been here on the mic too, but it's the first extended stretch, buddy, in which we've been able to basically roll, hey, just the two of us, right?
It's been a while.
And you know what? I think we're also bringing some good vibes, bringing the good vibes all the way to Philadelphia, because not only did the Cards put up that 2 spot in the top of the first inning, it looked as if Hunter Dobbins was going to get out of the bottom of the first unscathed, but now you've got runners on the corners. Buckle in. It's going to be a long one.
Well, I'm excited to get home, plant myself on the couch, and watch the rest of this ball game. Cardinals and Phillies. Cardinals currently lead 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. We appreciate everyone for tuning into today's show. Thank you for listening all week long. The regular crew will be here on Monday, including myself. Anthony had to take off. Carey had to take off. Jamie had the day off. But all four of us will be back on Monday from 2 to 6 right here in the Fast Lane. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. For Anthony Stalter, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, for Bradford Bruns, I'm Andrew Marsh. We will see you.